shit.
Hey yo, welcome to the show. I am Harry and I love that fucking song. Thank you, Dead South. And hell will be in good company. How appropriate for tonight, because hell is what we will unleash upon you. Tyson, how you doing?
Pretty good. Some mighty fine pickling and fiddling.
Pickling and fiddling. That's what my people call a banger.
Sorry.
Touche. So how was your week, man?
Pretty good week. Nothing happened, so that's always good.
Yeah. No homeless people accosting you?
No shit thrown at me.
Good.
Oh, actually, one did. He didn't throw shit at me, but he asked me for some money, and then I was like, no, I don't have any money. And he's like, oh yeah, just go ahead and stuff your face, because I was carrying out a pizza. He's like, oh, go ahead and stuff your face and enjoy your meal while I'm over here struggling. And he's
Like
staring
what?
me down, and I'm like, don't get stomped out over some change.
You can't act like a tough guy while holding a pizza.
Well, he had a cane, so
Kind of evened it out.
yeah.
I remember in my college days, I was walking down. I was in Columbus at the time. So it was like their main street, and this car rear-ended another car. And then this guy got out. He spit out blood. Now that was crazy. But then out of nowhere, this homeless guy comes out and he starts talking about how we're angels and how, oh man, if it wasn't for the grace of God, we could have been those people. And started going on this whole Bible verse and shit. And then, not that the Bible verses are shit or anything, but you know what I mean. But then he goes, but I'm a retired veteran and I'm not too proud to ask you for money for a chicken sandwich at Wendy's. I was like, well, I don't have any money. And then we just stopped being angels at that point.
Of course. He abandoned all faith.
Yeah. It was kind of funny, though. Like, man, you worked yourself up for that whole speech and then didn't hear what you wanted to hear. And then that was it.
I know, you got to get a couple no's before you turn evil.
Right. It's like that guy that gets rejected by a girl and goes on a murder spree.
Yeah. Like, really, once?
Well, let's talk about some Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
And we are starting with the Judgment Day and all their stupid shit, because that's the featured story. If only there was a world champion on Raw where the writers could focus on actual wrestling instead of focusing on stupid high school drama bullshit that involves a love triangle where two people involved are publicly married to other people that are not in the WWE. And everybody knows that.
Well, I don't think Rhea's married.
She just
But-
got married.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good for her. Maybe they understand that whole acting thing. At least that's what Dom said.
He said it's acting.
Well, it is acting.
Well, now it is.
Yeah, Logan Paul, he's on the Impulsive podcast. Logan Paul asked him, how his wife felt about stuff. And she's like, and he said, she knows when I'm there, I'm dirty Dom. When I'm here, I'm not. So you got to separate the character from the real person, I guess.
That's not what wrestling is. That's the complete opposite of what wrestling is.
This is not the 80s.
I don't give a shit. Tell that to Gunther.
Gunther, he doesn't live
He
his
doesn't what?
character.
He what?
He doesn't live his character.
The fuck he doesn't.
You don't know that. He doesn't post
Gunther
special.
Gunther on TV sounds exactly how he does in an interview.
Well,
he even said Randy was a wasted opportunity in an interview. He might be working, but he's still at least living the character. His interviews are just like he is on TV. I don't the little goofy shit. I'm not into that. Well, everybody else wants to focus on being a character and the fans loving him. I just focused on what I'm doing in the ring. He doesn't say, "Well, I'm Gunther Mondays, and then I'm Walter on the other day." He was even like very hesitant on smooching or talking about smooching his wife when he won the title.
where is this at?
Yeah, he just had an interview with some. I don't even want to plug the interview. It was like our level.
Well, how'd they get him?
I don't know.
We need to start reaching out to people. Imagine.
I mean, I'll interview Gunther and Jacob Fatu.
I
We'll
interview
get-
everybody. Equal opportunity.
Oh,
I'll interview Candice Michelle about the
who?
Triple H regime.
Oh, okay.
Our boy did that. Candice Michelle, who has not worked in WWE for like ever. And it's like, oh, what do you think about the Triple H regime?
I thought that was
What
Kelly
was it like?
Kelly.
Her too, but I saw
And
the Candice Michelle. Well, I didn't
oh, I
I didn't
didn't
see
see
it.
her at all. I saw Kelly Kelly was recently interviewed.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sure they both were. But to run down what happened here. So Rhea Ripley, she starts the show.
What? No,
She,
we're not there yet. You're jumping way
I
ahead
thought
there,
you
Buster. No,
okay.
we're still talking about the little highlight package. We're not even in Austin yet. This diatribe is over
Oh,
the highlight reel.
okay. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well done video
Yeah,
package, by the way.
it was. Unfortunately, I don't give two shits about it. The people involved.
Of course.
Yeah. So we're in Austin, Texas. The Walkers are Useless Liv Morgan and Dominic. Carlito and Balor are in the background, and so was McTurd's head. And SmackDown's Randy Orton is here tonight. And Sami Zayn, he's losing to Braun Breaker later. And then Braun Breaker finally. And he's going to beat Sami Zayn later. And then we get Rhea Ripley. She came out smiling, singing her theme song. She's slapping hands. She raised her arms to the crowd so they can cheer for her. Then she cupped her ear so they could cheer for her. And then she just totally changed and went into this woe is me diatribe about how fucked up she is over useless Liv Morgan stealing her dude and her title. Then she says she's pissed. Then she alludes to Dom having a tiny pecker. Then she says useless Liv Morgan can't run forever because she's Rhea Bloody Ripley. Because it's that time of the month. Useless Liv Morgan and Dominic interrupt. Dom says that he picked Useless Liv because she treats him like a man and calls him daddy. And lets him play video games whenever he wants. Useless Liv also helped him beat his deadbeat dad, which is something Ripley could never do. Ripley says
And don't
she's
forget the chicken tenders. She gives them chicken tenders. Very
with
important.
tendies.
Yeah, chicken tendies.
Yeah.
Very important, that thing.
Ripley says she's proud of Dominic and the man he's turned out to be. But as a heel who threw herself physically and instigated the home invasion with Rey Mysterio, she wanted Dom to beat Rey on his own, so there would be no excuses. Sure, Jan. Useless Liv Morgan gloats at Ripley for stealing her team, man, and title. Then the crowd chants sloppy seconds at her. She says that she'll gladly have Dom's sloppy seconds, and that's when I tapped out. Priest showed up, beat Dom's ass. Ripley chased off Useless Liv Morgan. Carlito showed up to save Dominic, and it started a match with Priest. Anything to add?
No. Good job.
Cool. Priest beat Carlito with a choke slam. Judgment Day beat up Priest after the match. Ripley comes out to kick Carlito in the balls, then chase everyone off, but Balor. Priest goes to super kick Balor for some reason. Like I don't know if I've ever seen him use a super kick.
I haven't really either.
I mean, he's done that little roundhouse kick thing, but I've never seen him use a super kick. It was just weird. So McTurd comes out at the last second to push Balor out of the way, and he takes the kick to the face. Priest also chokeslams McTurd. And then Dominic tried to attack Priest and Ripley from the top rope. Priest catches Dom, tosses him at Ripley so she can do a riptide. Useless Liv made the save.
What was Dom thinking? Jumping off that turnbuckle like that. he was about to put it on Rhea.
He was thinking,
and then
"Ah, man, I hope I stay in character."
I'm sure he was. Now, my one little nitpick, if you will, from this segment. So when Rhea chased Liv Morgan and Damian Priest beat down the stairs into the ring. So we just saw Rhea Ripley, right? She chased off Liv Morgan. And then this post-match beatdown, for some reason her music played again when she ran out for the save. Like, she was just out there. Why would we need her music again?
Oh, did she save him? Oh, yeah, she did.
Yeah. Like, why hit her music twice like that?
So they can get the 2 pops. At least she has a good theme song.
There. Yeah. I just thought it was a little ridiculous. And why did she come from the entrance ramp when she was just chasing her in the crowd? Like, shouldn't she have come back through the crowd?
I just hated how she was all happy and skipping to the ring, and then as soon as she started talking, "Oh, I'm just sad and reflective." Fucking give me a break.
She was playing that character.
Well, play the fucking character then. Don't fucking show your dick on the entrance ramp and then as soon as you hit the ring, be something different.
There we go.
People used to die for this. Now they can't even stay in character on the fucking entrance ramp. You kidding me?
Well, like I said, we're not in the 80s anymore. From what the Undertaker tells us, there was some wild stuff going on back then.
Don't get me started on the Undertaker.
Like, he was apparently, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of wild stuff going on back then. Different times now.
Cueto from Total Recall tried to recruit No Talent Dupree into her little group with Gable. And then No Talent Dupree declined and opted to stay with her dumb fucks Otis and Tozawa, who are facing Cueto's team later.
And to translate, that would be Ivy Nile. Whatever you said from Total Recall. And
Quaid, start the reactor.
She gives this ominous thing at the end when she's like, you can join American Made. First of all, no, you can't. And then second of all, she gave this ominous, I thought you'd say that. This foreshadowing for the future, which we're about to find out.
We have yet another Why It Sucks VHS tape, which makes no sense because they've debuted already. So it's like they can do promos now. They don't have to do the videotapes. Bo Dallas was in it. He didn't say a goddamn thing.
Another great segment because Bray Wyatt.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Bray Wyatt.
Really?
5 stars.
Okay, why don't you break down what Bo Dallas said? Give me an analysis.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter what he said.
Let's break down what he
said. I can't tell
said.
you what he said either.
Okay.
Said something. Well, basically, he recapped last week from what I gathered. And that the work wasn't done. It's pretty much all he really said. He didn't say anything, really. But, Bray Wyatt, so 5 stars. Okay.
New Day are backstage. Kofi wants him and Woods to be ringside for Odyssey Jones' debut. Woods agrees, but he doesn't seem as excited about it as Kofi does.
Yep, Kofi's not taken to this giant.
I don't like him either.
We're teasing a New Day split here, unfortunately.
He's a little too happy.
He sure is.
Jones beat some random white dude's ass. Why didn't either one of us think of the forward roll as an offensive move?
I don't know. It's probably because you can't really land that without really hurting someone.
Well, if I remember,
How
we
we were
weren't too
doing it.
concerned with all that.
Yeah, how we were doing it. We were going for blood there.
You're right. I thought the white dude was dressed as a pirate. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to be.
I don't know,
Woods,
but it was a good showing, I guess. It was a squash match, but the guy got offense for some reason.
yeah, it doesn't
But
make any sense to me.
the biggest story out of all that is that guy is Cora Jade's boo. So there's that. That's what she went with. You know, she had Braun Breaker. Now she's with that. And I'm not talking about Odyssey Jones. Goddamn. Talking about the other guy.
The pirate.
Yeah.
Well,
She gave up Braun Breaker for that.
there you go. So Woods wasn't as excited as Kofi after the win. Cross and his team came out. So I fast forwarded it to when Cross says, or so when Woods says to Cross, "Aren't you tired of this?" Which couldn't have been a better place to stop skipping. And then Woods tries to set up a tag match. Kofi interrupts and makes it a 6-man. Woods wasn't thrilled about it, as Kofi and Jones stood there and celebrated. Cross stood at the entrance ramp and smirked. And in fairness, he's going to go home to Scarlett later, so he has a good reason. And then Kofi called Cross.
Oh, go ahead.
Kofi called Cross's group Final Testicle. Cross lays down this verbal nuke, calling Kofi's group Garbage Day. And I have please, dear God, end this soon.
No, it's going somewhere now. Kofi might be turning. I'm sorry, Xavier might be turning. Now, is he joining the Final Testament? I wouldn't say that we're going to go that far. I think he's just more. Cross is just going to be happy splitting the group up, and that's going to be the end of that.
So aside from two people that have been teaming, a sideshow that has been teaming for a while, possibly splitting up, why should I give two fucks about this? Woods isn't going to go on like some fucking, singles run where he faces somebody for the world title.
Well, of course not. Intercontinental title, he might be able to compete for that. We got to get it off Breaker, which ain't going to happen for a long time, it seems. So
I hope Woods beats Breaker.
We'll have to see what happens there.
I don't know. I'm tired of Cross. I'm tired of a stupid group. I'm tired of Paul Ellering just sitting there and not doing anything. I don't even know this Odyssey Jones guy, and I'm tired of him already. He ain't no Ubafemi.
Yeah, what are they gonna do when he gets on the roster? Two of them.
I just heard one of his promos.
I did too. He has like he talks like he's from Africa.
Yeah,
I'm sure he is, but
oh my god,
thick African.
I would make him a fucking witch doctor or something.
He would be like a voodoo guy
or Papa Shang. Yeah,
I could see that.
Or like, remember Constantine?
No.
Was it Mr. Shadow? No, it wasn't Mr. Shadow. The movie with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I don't know if I watched that all the way through.
Well, there's the black guy that was into the voodoo and shit.
What about the guy? I got one, and we would both know probably. The guy who tried to put the hex, or who did put the hex on Chucky.
Oh, yeah.
Who put him in the doll.
Yeah.
That guy.
And yeah, it was just something very, very spiritual. And I would make him supernatural and it would work.
Yep, because he got the accent for it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about the accent. If he sounded like he was from New York, it wouldn't work. He'd just be another guy.
Yeah.
So Adam Pearce is talking on the phone. He wants something official by the end of the night. Did we ever find out what that was?
I don't think so.
Okay. Drew McIntyre comes in. He wants to know why Randy Orton of SmackDown is getting a shot at the Raw title, which is fair. Pearce says, "You know why, Drew." McIntyre says, "Oh, it's because he got screwed 3 months ago and did nothing about it. I've been getting screwed all year." But Drew sees that he's wasting his time trying to reason with Pearce and just says he'll take care of it. Pearce says, "Whoa there, big fella. Last person to say that was Bronson Reed, the guy who lost to Ricochet and can't whip lesbian Pete Dunne in less than 20 minutes. I don't need that in my life." And Drew says, "He's not Bronson Reed, so don't worry." Anything to add?
Nope.
Team No Talent Dupree versus the Inbreed Brothers. And Gable is in Paris. He wants to get back home to settle things with the Wyatts. Oh, fucking joy.
Wants to take another L.
Inbreed Brothers won with a roll-up. Cueto attacked No Talent Dupree. And No Talent Dupree showed the world once again how devoid of purpose she is. She sounded like a fucking squawking bird when she was in the Dragon Suplex or Sleeper on the announce table. She was whoa, 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 whoa. So she sucks so bad she can't even pretend to be in pain. Fire this no talented cunt. Fire.
Maybe that's how she is in pain. You don't know that.
I do know that.
You don't.
I do.
People, people
I do.
pain differently.
I do. There's no. She was pretending, obviously.
Anyway, Ivy Nile joins
She
American
already was.
Made. Officially, she joins American Made. She is heel, the pit bull, and we get a call back to Diamond Mine, which is the group that they were in NXT with
The pit bull who was shorter than No Talent Dupree when she was on her knees.
Well, she's an American Gladiator. You tell those people that, or Titan. I don't know.
Cueto's an American Gladiator?
Or
what, for midgets?
The Rock remake one, the Titan Games or whatever. She was one of them.
Was it for midgets?
No. Oh. She was throwing people around, so
Oh, okay. So it was fake.
Sure.
We done?
I guess.
All right. So the lesbian Pete Dunne does an empty arena interview. Some hole asks him what the deal with Sheamus is. Dunne says he wasn't under Sheamus's wing. Sheamus was under his. Sheamus went to on a run of a lifetime with Dunne in his corner, and all that got him was a terrible nickname and a front row seat to the Sheamus show. Dunne says if Sheamus was really about the boys, where'd Ridge go? And the hole calls Dunne Butch, and the little fucker flips out. "Never call me that again." And Dunne says he's going to beat Sheamus's ass, so he never has to hear that name ever again.
So they're clearly setting it up to where, when he's in front of the fans, they're going to call him Butch. My question is, what is Shayna Baszler going to think about that? She's right there. Zoe Stark might be there too. Sonya Deville's definitely there. Well, I don't think Sonya Deville. I don't think it impacts her, but Shayna Baszler for sure. Like, what is she gonna think about that?
The Butch part?
Yeah,
because
you're gonna have fans chanting "Butch, Butch, Butch."
Oh,
is that gonna offend her? Anyway, that was a lot funnier when I thought about
Clearly.
it.
That was just kind of out of left field.
Yeah. It made sense when I said it.
I understood it.
And then you say it out loud. You got to be able to deliver, and I didn't.
Are we done with Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
We got the match set up for next week.
Yeah, they're going to call him Butch. Yay. Bronson Reed and Pierce talked in the back. Reed tells Pierce to find him an opponent, or Reed will look for his next victim.
Yep.
Then we get a Damage Control promo. They say everybody forgot who they are, so they're going to beat the fuck out of Sonya Deville's team to remind everybody who they are. Io says Sonya's team will never reach the heights Damage Control has as long as they're on Raw. Then they do a VR Troopers thing where they point and then they brush their kanji on their cheeks. It was kind of gay, to be honest. Kari sounds intimidating as fuck when she does the Japanese. Like, she sounds like she'll slit your balls open just for fun to watch the stuff come out.
I was just thinking through this segment, poor Damage Control. Asuka's hurt. Dakota's now hurt. It's just them too. They're going to have to carry them segments by themselves, I guess.
They can. I just wish they would. I don't think Io's very good with the English. So they just need to stop that.
Yeah, so they had to subtitle her.
Yeah, but she would go like one sentence, she was doing Japanese, the next sentence it was English. Just stick to one. And it's Japanese because you're better at it. And it works.
Yeah.
Sonya Deville's team had a promo too. They're called Pure Pure Fusion Collective. And I'm assuming Sonya said that everything Damage Control said was bullshit. I was laughing too hard at their dumb fucking team name to listen to anything she had to say.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell that name was.
Stupid.
It's definitely not something that's going to get over.
Pure Fusion Collective. And that was PFC. Like, oh my God. People get paid a lot of money to think about this shit.
Yeah. I think, when I heard Pat McAfee say PFC, I was like, were they going for some, like, a knockoff of UFC? So, like, because THQ, well, there's a lot of, I don't know, is it some kind of UFC type thing? But then they should have been a UFC, like something UFC, and then they're the UFC, and then you see it in the headlines, UFC takes out. Like, they could have just done it, but I don't know. This is a big breakdown on this stupid ass name. And a group I don't really I want it to be over. And I like the women. Zoe's I'm still trying to grow on her, but
she's my favorite.
Sonya and Shayna, I like them.
Although Zoe's starting to get, I don't know, she's starting to look like a lizard.
She's pretty dark.
No, it's not that. Oh, I mean, I'm sure that helps, but just her face. She's getting less and less feminine and more lizardy. Not that she was, a 10 to begin with. Damage Control and the Powerpuff Girls fight to a no contest. Unholy Union decimated both teams because they got kicked. I guess they're ass kickers this week or something. I don't know. Unholy Union seems to be getting their ass kicked every week, but this week is different.
The weird part of all this was they broke up the 2 count or the 3 count for this interference. Like, why interrupt? Like you wait 1 second and then the match is over and you can still do your beatdown. I guess
wasn't it for a number 1 contender?
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
But now it's a triple threat. I mean, that's wrestling 101 right there.
That's lazy.
That too.
So we get Miz and R-Truth backstage, and I just wrote no.
I can give a quick rundown. So in walks R-Truth. He says, "What's wrong? You upset because you lost to the Rock and Roll Express last week?" And Miz says, "It was A-Town Down Under." And she said, "Damn, you lost to them too?" Then he says, "Well, hold on, I got you. I got you a match with the Intercontinental Champion Braun." And Miz is like, "Wait, Braun Breaker? You got me a match with him? Wait, doesn't he have a match this week?" Truth says, "I don't know anything about that." And then behind them both is a graphic, and turns out Miz will be facing Bronson Reed, Braun's son. You see, Truth didn't say Breaker, he just said Braun. So, yeah. In walks Randy Orton. And, oh, yeah, when Miz says, "You got me, that's Bronson Reed." Truth says, "Isn't that the guy who killed Seth Rollins last week?" "Yeah, it is." In walks Randy Orton. And he said, he finds out that Miz is facing Bronson Reed. And Randy Orton says, "Isn't that the guy who killed Seth Rollins last week?" And then he just gives Miz a little pep talk. He says, "You're a Grand Slam champion. You've won however many titles you've won. You beat John Cena at WrestleMania. You got this." Miz is all hyped up. He walks off. Truth says, "Do you think he really got it?" And Randy Orton doesn't say anything. He's on his way out to meet Gunther. There you go.
So Randy gets to the ring and he says, 20 years ago this month, he became champion for the first time. And in Berlin, he's going to be winning it for the 15th. Then Gunther comes out. Randy tells everyone to take a picture of Gunther because he's beating him in Berlin. And then Randy says Gunther is moving to SmackDown if he loses, which is news to me.
Yeah, you kind of just slipped that right in there.
Right? Gunther says, take a picture. It's Randy Orton, one of the greatest of all time. But Randy, you should be the greatest of all time. You had all the talent and potential, and you wasted it. This is the area of the Ring General, and there is no room for those who waste their potential. And in the future, my future, you will no longer have a role. Randy says he made a lot of mistakes, but changed course, and he reminds Gunther who he's talking to. The most unpredictable, violent, yet successful WWE superstar ever. Gunther, you can call this a curse, which he never did, but I call it a gift. Gunther, you can have your opinion all you want, but I've always done it my way, the American way. And then Randy lists off all the cool shit he has and the hot wife he gets to fuck. And he says he appreciates Gunther's opinion, but he's done pretty good for himself. Gunther says, what did he say? He said he was lost when Orton said he was unpredictable because Gunther believes Orton is very predictable. He says that he predicts that he will give Randy the beating of a lifetime, which will make him never be world champion ever again. Gunther says that when it really matters, all Randy does is fuck up. And that comes naturally because Orton's father and his father's father and his father's father was a fuck up too. But not as much of a fuck up as Randy himself, though. You come from a long line of fuck ups, but not as much of a fuck up as you are, Randy. Orton bows up to Gunther. McIntyre interrupts. Orton RKO's Gunther out of nowhere because, of course. Looks like McIntyre's going to whoop Orton's ass. Out comes Punk to brawl with McIntyre. McIntyre ends up taking off his belt to use on Punk, but Punk ends up getting it. Then he beats Drew's ass, and he ultimately runs him off. And then we never see Gunther again in the segment, the World Heavyweight Champion.
What happened in that segment? Oh, yes. Where did Gunther go?
He just rolled out.
I mean, Randy was going to get the upper hand on him because he's not winning. So, I just thought it was weird that he threw out I did it my way, the American way. It's like, why you got to throw that out there? why we got to go through this? Oh, I remember now. Because we're building to a John Cena Gunther match, so we got to make him the international villain.
Well, no, it's Randy's American. They're going to be in Berlin. Gunther's obviously not American. It's America versus Germany type thing.
Yeah, and John Cena.
Sheamus is interviewed. Oh, anything with Punk and McIntyre?
No, I think they pretty much tell us what's about to happen.
Okay. Yeah, we get a Sheamus interview. He responded to the lesbian Pete Dunne. Kaiser came out to tell Sheamus he still owes him an ass whooping. Lesbian comes out attacking Sheamus with the shillelagh. Kaiser helped. I think they fucked up his hand.
Yeah. He hit Sheamus's hand with the shillelagh. Oh, that Pete Dunne. Such a firecracker.
Sure. CM Punk is walking and he's stopped by a hole. And then we see Gunther in the background knocking over some shit. Punk said he lied about his flight being delayed. See, he was reportedly not in the building. His flight was delayed. So he was going to miss Raw. But it turned out to be a lie. And he said he lied because he knew McIntyre wouldn't show up if he knew Punk was in the building. And Punk brings up his stupid bracelet again, says Drew can keep it, but he can never speak about Larry or his wife again. And then Punk teases that the next match with McIntyre will be a strap match.
Which is, it won't be it seems like that's the direction they're going for Bad Blood. Those strap matches are brutal, so it's going to be something.
I don't know. The last strap match I saw was Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre, and it fucking sucked.
I don't remember that one. I remember them fighting, but I don't remember it being a strap match. Quite honestly.
I think Scarlett helped Kross lose.
Actually, this is a new regime, though, so...
That was when Triple H did. That was when Kross just re-signed.
Oh, yeah.
And he started his feud with McIntyre.
Well, I just think it'll be good to see. I mean, with McIntyre and Punk, they're professional, so
right,
they're going to figure it out. How much are they going to be able to go, though? Because it is WWE after all.
I think they can go as far as they can, or they want. Is it the company holding them back, or is it the pussy ass wrestlers holding the company back?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Because, I mean, do you see, like, top wrestlers today doing what, like a strap match like Valentine and Piper did? Or a Hell in the Cell like Mankind and Undertaker did? Now, I know shit's safer now, and the Taker stuff was an accident, but just the brutality and the risks.
No. They protect themselves now. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's also some of it is because, WWE is a publicly traded company now, so they can't go as far as they used to.
I also think a lot of it is that they're more selfish.
How so?
They're not. The wrestlers of yesterday were more. They were 100% focused on the fans, not necessarily making them. I mean, yeah, they wanted to entertain them, but the ultimate goal was to get their money. And here, it's just like, give me your money. You have to like me. It doesn't matter whether or not I try. And they don't have the good fucking sense to be in character on the way to the fucking ring.
There you go. Going back there. But yeah, I could see that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see which one's which.
And just in general, this isn't wrestling, but I've noticed that people that want a fan base or want people to organically enjoy their whatever they're trying to sell for profit, they tend to attack people that are critical as opposed to just accepting it and trying to be better. Like, there's no constructive criticism. It's you said something slightly negative, so now I got to attack you and be all defensive and play a victim. Why am I getting all this hate?
It's a hard life when you choose to go out there and put on a show for people. Just is. We can attest to that.
Mm.
We get. Why people are attacking us for nothing? Like, you don't even know me, and if you did know me, I'd punch you in the face. You say it in my face. So yeah, and then it's like, I don't know. It's like when you're out there, you're putting on this stuff for people. They think you're not a real person. They think, oh, this is a guy behind a computer screen. I can say whatever I want. Yeah. Say it to my face then. I'll show you how real I am.
Well, Bronson Reed beat The Miz.
Keyboard warriors, that's what they call them.
And then he killed R-Truth with a bunch of tsunamis.
Yep, we got 6 total tsunamis, and 1 was to The Miz. The other 5 was to R-Truth. Bronson Reed is starting to get over with his tsunami. In fact, you had the crowd chanting one more time, and this is R-Truth we're talking about here. And the bloodthirsty fans are saying, one more time. And then popping when he goes up to the thing to do it. And it's very, I don't know, they're treating him like he's similar to like Godzilla or King Kong. So
now they are.
I'm all in. But, I've been on Bronson Reed for the get-go.
Wait until the spotlight's off of him.
Well, it's on him now. That's all that matters. How much is it going to be on him? That's going to be the question. Like, how far are we going with this? Seth Rollins, he's not coming back for a while, it seems. So, are they going to keep him hot until Seth Rollins comes back and then have Seth Rollins beat him? And then there you go, back to the you go hang out with Shinsuke, or is he gonna beat Seth Rollins and keep this momentum going and actually be a name on the roster?
Probably the first one.
Yeah, Shinsuke, and then they'll pull him out when they go to some international thing.
Right. They'll go to New Zealand and then they'll make him a big deal again. They'll just
Yeah.
insert him into the title match.
Which apparently they were gonna do when they went to Perth. When they went to Perth, he was supposed to be in the main event, or not in the main event. He was supposed to get a title match, but he had a kid, so he couldn't go.
That's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
So Sami Zayn lost to Braun Breaker. Jey Uso pep talked him before the match, so that probably helped. I thought it was really badass that Braun Breaker has to tell everybody that he's a badass.
He has to remind people.
Yeah. You know, all those
Braun Breakers, that's what badasses do. They tell you they're badasses.
all the time.
You ever heard Chuck Norris or, hey, I'm a badass?
No, as a matter of fact, I have not. Chuck Norris is the worst example.
Is it?
Because even if saying I'm a badass was a thing, I don't think Chuck Norris would be an I'm a badass type of guy.
Well, that's just the first person that popped in my mind. Mike Tyson, prime Mike Tyson.
Well, he may have said that, yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even think he would say that. He would say, "I'll wreck you," or I'm on another level. I'm something you've never seen before." I don't know if he would just say, "I'm a badass."
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't say it. Yeah, he's too busy saying others. Too busy telling people he's going to eat their children.
Yeah. Oh, he has children. Which, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's a boxing match, Mike.
And I think that was actually the same match that he then went on to bite off his ear.
No, that was I think that was after.
As our next one.
No, that wasn't. He told Lennox Lewis he was going to eat his children.
Oh, I thought he told Holyfield.
Not that I recall.
Well, it takes that away.
The only because I saw Mike say he was going to eat Lewis's children live. I was live when that happened.
And thinking back, Lennox Lewis wasn't like a a small guy either.
Oh no, Lennox Lewis ended up winning.
I know he did, and he's a pretty big guy. So yeah, I'm telling him that.
That was still Iron Mike. He was still circling the drain.
Yeah. Now this was definitely after the bite, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of turned into a joke at that point. Not so much of a joke as like, anybody was going to make fun of him to his face, but or
He was a
I should
joke
say
as
he
far as
wasn't
a professional fighter.
Yeah, he wasn't a draw anymore. No one was going to go.
No, he
watch
was a
it.
draw. He wasn't an automatic win. Like, because before that, if you saw a Mike Tyson fight, it was Mike Tyson. It wasn't a question of Mike Tyson winning. It was, well, how long is it going to take for him to win?
Yeah.
Then after was it Buster Douglas?
Unfortunately, who was compared to Holly Holm after she beat Rousey.
Probably wasn't even that. Like, I'm sure it was just because he went to prison. He wasn't fighting. He was out of shape. He was super famous. Then he tried to get back into it. Yeah, that's when he fought Holyfield. He bit his ear. And he fought Lewis after that. So he was going to eat his children. I think he lost to somebody else.
Yeah. And it's weird that it always seems like these phenomenons, as soon as they lose, it's like then just a string of losses happen. Like Anderson Silva when he lost to Weidman, or Ronda Rousey lost to Holmes.
Holly Holm was a decorated kickboxer.
Well, I'm just saying, like the shoe falls off, and then it just, or the code gets cracked, I should say, and then they just keep losing. Conor McGregor, which I still don't think he's lost. I think that was that was just that was a fluke. He broke his leg, so he would have won that. Probably still won. He's undefeated still.
Yeah, I think Vander kind of broke him.
Yeah.
Because then he no contest with Orlin Norris. How do you not knock Orlin Norris out?
Yeah.
No contest with Andrew Galata. He lost to Danny Williams and Kevin McBride.
I don't know who those are.
I know. Kevin McBride's Irish. Come on. Come on, Mike.
It just goes to show you that's why Floyd Mayweather was the best ever.
Danny Williams is British. I don't think Floyd Mayweather's the best ever.
The record don't lie.
Rocky Marciano is the best ever.
See, that was before my time, so.
It's before my time, too. That doesn't make it.
I don't go backwards.
See, I know my history. I know that I'm standing on the shoulder of giants. I respect those that paved the way before me.
Good for you.
So that was Raw and Mike Tyson history.
Yep. And we move on to SmackDown.
Yeah, it's pretty uneventful Raw.
Yeah. It's kind of just, more building blocks to whatever we're building to.
Yeah. Which
by the way, it is announced that Dom and Liv are going to take on Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. So Damian Priest, the guy who took Gunther to the limit, is now going to wrestle Dominic Mysterio.
Of course.
Just take that in.
That's why, whatever.
Just take it in. And he's probably going to get offense on him.
He's probably going to lose.
Well, I don't know about that.
He might lose. They got the Judgment Day.
They do. It'll be interesting to see how they get themselves out of that one.
And we are 2 weeks away from Berlin.
Yep.
So next week will be our predictions.
We shall see the final picks at that time. Tune in wherever you listen to your podcast.
All right, SmackDown. This should be relatively quick. Starts off with highlights from last week. Solo told Roman to come get his necklace back. Roman did. And it didn't turn out well for Solo. Even though he ultimately got the necklace back. Or he ultimately kept the necklace, I should say. So we're in Orlando, Florida. And the only walkers are the Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. Then we get Tiffany Stratton in the ring with Pretty Gay for some reason. Stratton brings out Nia Jax, who's dressed like a queen. Jax comes out, says pink isn't her style because the ring's all decorated in pink and whatever. Says pink's not my style. Destruction's my style. Then she says she took the title from Bayley, so she's queen and champion, and everybody better bow. She wants Stratton to bow to her. Stratton wants Pretty Gay to sing a song first, and men should bow too. Skip the song. Mia fucking Yin came out to waste TV time instead of drinking an entire bottle of bleach. And yeah,
Her boob popped out. Unfortunately, she had a bra on, but it did pop out. That was the takeaway. I guess the other takeaway, is number one, we're teasing Tiffany Stratton cashing in. I guess we're slowly turning Tiffany into a face because Nia Jax was kind of, she sets up this party and it's like, well, pink's not really my thing, so she didn't appreciate the decorations. And then I don't think she enjoyed the Pretty Deadly performance. So yeah, and she wanted Tiffany to bow down, and how she said it: "Start with you, bow down." I'll do it later. So yeah, they're already teasing this breakup. Now, would you believe it was at this moment, in this segment, the song was bad. Let's go ahead and put that out there. The song was bad. I was thinking it was supposed to be bad because the Mia Yim run-in was supposed to get a pop. But over there on the social media machine, that'd be Twitter, X, it was at this moment that people started to turn on WWE. Why is it that the women can beat up the men, but the men can't get their licks back? It's at this moment. Now think about it. Think about it. Why are they upset right now? Especially when we just saw on Monday, Dom, got manhandled by Rhea Ripley. He didn't get any offense, but it was at this moment that people got upset. Think about that.
Oh, they want the Ponces to get their licks in?
Yes. So a little bit of
Are they even really gay?
They're not. That's
Okay.
the thing. They're not. But
That's
the faux words has been thrown around a lot. Because the only reason people aren't, they're really big on social media, I'll say. But the only reason people don't like them is because they're not masculine. They're not. You guys are all phobes. That's why you don't like them. This is the narrative that's starting to be pushed over Pretty Deadly. And yes, they are not even homosexuals. So
no, they're not masculine. Why the fuck would I root for men that aren't men?
well, I think that gimmick can get over if done
It can
right.
it can get over, but I mean, why would I root for? Okay, I can root for the Bloodline with Jacob Fatu, or I can root for Pretty Gay, who are gay, and
But
a
not
comedy
gay.
act. I mean, there's no fucking contest. You have somebody like Gunther, you have
That's right
somebody like
there.
Randy Orton, you have
Just
somebody like
describing the toxic masculinity right there.
no, this is a fucking men's sport. It's a high contact sport.
Why don't you fall in line and just
No,
appreciate feminine energy men, feminine men, painting nails and stuff?
I do when it comes to, I guess, music or something, but when it comes to high contact sports, no. when testosterone is an asset, I'm not going to praise people that have a lack of it.
I just think it was funny that at this is the segment that started to break people. Just trying to turn WWE woke.
I don't mind that the ladies get their licks in on the dudes. It's just the unrealistic shit, like the body slams and stuff.
I mean, I think they should get. I mean, I don't know.
Like,
I like it when it was one sided and men just beat down the women.
well, that was
Umaga
cool.
versus
Yeah.
insert name here. Maria or whatever. What was her name? Maria
Kanellis.
Yeah. That's like my favorite intergender match right there. Dudley Boys versus the Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah, or Stacy Keibler, or Trish Stratus, or whoever else they put to the table.
See, nowadays it would be a 20-minute match. And it'd be a coin flip.
Yeah, and there'd be offense. Yeah.
So we get the agenda backstage. They acted like triple Bs because Naomi was there. And Carmelo Anthony came in to make it 4 Bs.
Yes. 2 things out of this segment. Number 1.
There's 2?
Yeah, there's 2 things out of the segment.
Okay.
Number 1, I don't know what it was, but them in the leather, I was kind of digging it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm actually, what's going on here?
I think it was because they were acting like high school girls too. They were
it was kind of gothic.
They were being extra flirty or something. Yeah, it was working.
But yeah, and then Carmelo Hayes, he walks in and he's like, "Oh, I heard y'all talking about celebrating. Y'all coming to my after party?" And he goes, "There's gonna be bottles. There's gonna be models." Now, they blew him off, of course.
Of course.
And they said, Andrade's up 2 on you. What are you even like? You got to win first. And then Carmelo Hayes says, after they leave, he's like, "Y'all watching my matches though." So he had a point there. Now, I was gonna say that we could actually start a feud. Carmelo Hayes and Montez Ford, because Hayes was hitting on these women. Naomi, husband, is on the roster, although I don't think they've acknowledged it on roster, so maybe there's an out there. But Bianca has very much a husband that they've acknowledged on roster. And then Jade, he doesn't want, he can't get that smoke. So
who's Jaden married to?
I think he's either an NBA player or a baseball player, or ex baseball or NBA.
Oh, if it's a baseball player, he might have a shot.
Well, I'm just saying she's so much taller than him.
I got you.
But yeah, all you had to do to set this feud up was Ford. He sees this, and then all he has to do is come over. A feud as old as time. You talking to my bitch right there. And then there you go, off to a feud. Hey, dog, that's my bitch.
Why are you disrespecting my bitch?
Yeah. Because, that's... But, like, you can call them bitches if they're yours.
And she tries to say something. Montez, don't be like that. Shut up, ho! I'm defending your honor.
Yeah. Got the cigarette hanging on his mouth. I'm gonna put your ass outside. Use your outside voice.
Talk to me like that one more time.
And then
Men are talking.
you can have the baby powder. Come on with it.
Mm.
You giving me lip, bitch? Come on with it. And then all the while they're all looking. Are we still supposed to be here?
Are we still the bad guys?
Yeah.
Andrade and Carmelo Anthony wrestled again. Anthony won. They brawled after.
Yep. So another week, another Andrade versus Carmelo match. I guess it's working for them because they put on banger matches each week. Seems that the crowd is starting to connect with that, so good for them.
Then we get the Bloodline backstage. Thomas says that when Roman arrives, he's going to rip him limb from limb, completely forgetting about last week. And Solo says thank you, but Solo's the tribal chief now. Then if Roman takes the necklace back, everyone has to acknowledge him. That's if Roman can take the necklace back. So it sounds like they're trying to give them an out. It's like, well, Roman has the necklace now, so we're back in the Bloodline.
Yeah. I wonder if they're just gonna, if or when Roman Reigns retrieves this Ulafala, I wonder if they're actually just gonna fall in line like that. Like, well, it's over. He's got the Ulafala.
Yeah, you got the necklace, man.
Fall in line, and then there's just like this gigantic bloodline.
Like, I don't know if I like that.
I would like the fact that it's like such a, I don't know, such an honorable thing. Like, we could try to kill each other, but we're gonna honor the tradition.
But he
It's
stole
like
it to begin with.
Well, we don't know how he got it.
He didn't take it, but he didn't beat Roman for it.
I know, but we don't know how he got it.
What, he suck his dick?
I'm just saying, we don't know how he
Okay,
got it.
Roman either gave it to him, which why is he coming out to fight him back for it, or Solo stole it. Those are your two options.
Okay. But yeah, I just think it'd be honorable. It's like the tribal combat. Like, it was over, and Jey Uso had to fall in line because that was the honor of the code.
Solo completely decimated the Wise Man and Jimmy. They did the vehicular manslaughter to Kevin Owens. They're supposed to be wild, law-breaking men. And this necklace is going to hold them in line now.
Even gang members have a code. And I'm talking about in real life.
I know what you're talking about.
So, yes.
I'm from the streets. I know what you're talking about.
Like, even
I know street dog. You want to talk street now?
I can hang.
Funny thing is, I met my first street guy. I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. Like, why can't you people talk English?
It's like, I know you said words, but I got
yeah.
mad.
Like, I understood the words, but in the context in which you put them together, I need like some fucking Ovaltine decoder ring for that shit. So Da Vinci got a vignette again. Kaiser beat Vinci so bad he has a new personality. That's kind of what I gathered.
He's gone.
Naomi wrestled Page 2.0. I can't remember who won. Nor do I care.
Well, it would be a surprise that Blair Davenport won, and she won clean. Like there was no tomfoolery or anything. She just straight up won.
There you go.
So, yeah, good for her.
It's kind of funny since they were laughing at Carmelo Anthony for not winning his matches.
Yes. But it is weird that Naomi just lost to Davenport out of nowhere.
Hasn't she lost to her before?
No.
Oh.
I think they've only wrestled once and Naomi won.
I thought they wrestled twice.
Oh yeah, it was twice, and she won them both.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so she was due for one. We got Waller and Theory backstage. Waller's hyping himself up by tearing Owens down. Owen slides in behind Waller while he's getting shit talked. And then Owen says to Waller, "You're right, I am a loser. Let's go show everyone tonight." And then Waller wasn't as enthusiastic to show Owens that he is a loser. Then we had an Alpha tribute video. He passed away.
Yep, rest in peace. I think it's kind of eerie that the other one,
Sika,
just passed away like a few weeks ago. They like passed away together essentially.
See,
that's a tag team.
If this was if they wanted to go with it, they should play like Solo took him out.
What?
Yeah. Solo poisoned the original tribal chiefs to get to Roman. Yeah.
That's some Kane Undertaker type shit there.
Mm-hmm. Or not even fuck Solo. Jacob Fatu. Solo doesn't even know. And that's the price you pay for bringing in these fucking unhinged motherfuckers that you don't know what they're gonna do, that you can't control. They poison the elders. And he did it for Solo because he loves him. I love you, Solo.
I did it for you.
Yeah. God. Oh, my nipples are hard just thinking about that. But no, they're got to do some Mickey Mouse shit.
I mean, I don't think they were going to acknowledge it past what they did.
They should. They could. I mean, it's right there. That's money. That's money. Owens beat Waller, of course. And then he attacked Waller after the match. Theory came in with the save. Cody ends up helping Owens with a couple chairs. And Owens was definitely the bad guy in this scenario. They also had a moment where Owens picked up the belt, Cody's belt, and he stared at it and gave it back to Cody. And it was supposed to be a big deal.
Yes. I don't know why it was supposed to be a big deal. Oh, my goodness. The guy who's going for your title actually wants to win it. By the way, he didn't even want the match.
Cody dropped the belt. Owens picked it up. And it's like, oh. And just last week, they were talking about how good friends they were. So it's like, what the fuck? What, did Kevin Owens just go run off with it? He's not going to give it back?
Well, he looked at it first. Well,
of course he looked at it. That's the highest prize in the land.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You gave him this match. You wanted him to have this match. He didn't want this match. And now you're surprised that he looked at it.
Anybody would look at it. Anybody. And that's legit. If you and I were, if Cody just happened to drop his belt and we were walking behind him, we would pick it up and we would stare at it first. It's the fucking world heavyweight title. You're going to look at it first.
Right.
Because for somebody like us, that's the closest we'll ever get to that. And who knows? That might be the closest Owens ever gets to holding it.
Yeah, I don't see him winning. We'll find out next week.
Oh,
what I actually think.
No. We get another Solo and Tama Tonga backstage moment. Solo says he loves Tama, but tonight Roman needs to acknowledge him. Anything to add?
No.
Evil Mexicans had a video package, and they're basically coming for LA Knight's title. LA Knight came out. He says he saw the Evil Mexican video package, and his title isn't going anywhere. Then he tells Escobar anytime, anywhere, or place. And the match gets scheduled for next Friday.
Yes. Now, can Escobar beat LA Knight on his first title defense on a TV match? We shall see.
We shall see.
Who knows?
When's the last time they did a title change on TV? Like a real title change?
It's been, I'd say, years. Yeah, I can't. The last one I remember would be like the U.S. title, and it was Ray losing it
to Logan Paul?
No, it was before that.
Okay.
It was like years ago.
There you go.
Bobby Lashley beating The Miz to become world champion. That was years ago too. So yeah. Nothing recently. Oh, the DIY beating. Well, you said real titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Mia Yim came out of Nick Aldis's office, and then she gets her ass whooped by Nia Jax. Mia Yim should take a bubble bath with a plugged-in toaster.
And she also gets a match next week.
Oh, boy. Solo Cups beat DIY. They get to face the Bloodline for the tag titles next week. And it ain't looking good for them.
It's not. But this was a good match. It was a, as they called it, an ode to NXT.
How's that?
It's just a NXT black and gold type match.
Okay.
And Gargano said before, or I think he said on social media, he said that they were gonna give a NXT level performance, and that's exactly what they did. It was a banger. Probably, I don't know. You could put that on like TV match of the year on the on the list, not like actual match of the year, but you could put that on the list. Now, what that does going forward, we'll see. Like, really, those are like the only two tag teams you have. You're not gonna have Pretty Deadly putting on competitive matches. Oh, I'm a phobe now. I said it. So yeah, we'll see where else it goes after that. But yeah, good match out of the two. Poor DIY though. 28 days as champion, and now they don't even get a rematch.
So, nope.
Bad for them.
So the Bloodline come out for the main event segment, and after failing to get the crowd to acknowledge him, Solo, who only has Tama Tonga with him, tells Roman for the second week in a row to come get his necklace. Roman comes out to get his necklace. So he gets in the ring. Solo slowly takes the necklace off and hands it to Tama and tells him to wait in the corner. Roman and Solo start brawling. Tama gets involved after Roman beats Solo's ass. Roman ends up rock bottoming Tama. Roman Superman punches Solo and then nails him with a spear. Roman finally gets the necklace and puts it on, and you can see the relief just wash over his face. Like finally he's whole again, which further validates that Solo stole it. And then
Okay.
and then Jacob Fatu came out in a walking boot to bring back the only credibility this new bloodline has. Roman gets fucked up. He gets the Umaga ass thing, and it looked like Roman was done after that. And then they shield powerbomb him through the announce desk. And then they drag him back in the ring. Now, I thought they were going to do the moonsault. But no, they just drag him back in the ring so they could pose over him, which was kind of weird. And then Cody kind of looks like a bitch for not coming out to help.
Not really his business.
Roman came out to help him with SummerSlam.
He shouldn't have.
He shouldn't have, but he did. Cody owes him one.
They're not exactly friends.
The Cody owes him one. Friends or not. If Cody's a man.
But Roman doesn't need help.
He did tonight.
Well, he didn't until he did.
Until the Samoan werewolf decided to dog walk his ass with 1 foot.
Yeah, where do you go from there? He was on a freaking walking boot. Yeah. Now, he did catch him from behind, so there's that. Caught him off guard, we should say. It wasn't like, face to face, let's get this done. It was like a attack out of nowhere.
Although the two Tongans did that last week, and Roman was able to fight both of them off.
Well, that's the difference. He's the enforcer.
Yeah, Roman better retire.
Well, we'll see where it goes.
I'm sorry, Solo. I didn't know you had a Jacob Fatu with you. And then he acknowledges only Jacob Fatu. And then we get Solo versus Jacob Fatu. Of course, Jacob Fatu wins easily. Solo goes to NXT.
Becomes champion. And retires as champion.
Sure.
And then every week they beat AEW in the ratings because Solo's at the top.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You kidding me? You have Solo, I'm going to pick you to destroy this week.
Although he was already in NXT.
Have him attack women and children. Oh. Hi, John, you want a match? You're retiring? Oh, is this your lovely wife? Come here, bitch! I'm going to dog walk your ass.
And then he'll be right back in jail where he was.
No, it's wrestling. You don't go to jail. Well, if you do, it's only for like a night.
And he'll have a new thing where he's on hard times. I don't know.
Well, that was SmackDown. The one takeaway is Jacob Fatu is seeing some action. So I don't know if he's either a tough son of a bitch or he's not as hurt as it seemed.
Yeah, doesn't seem he's as hurt. I believe they showed the graphic that he's going to be defending the title next week. So
okay, well he'd have to be if he can attack Roman. He can certainly wrestle the Solo Cups
in a walking boot, though.
Come on,
a lot different.
It doesn't have to do anything crazy.
But he did do a super kick, so having a plant on a foot that may or may not be hurt.
He did the super kick with the walking boot, though.
Did he? I thought it was the other foot.
Look at the picture.
Hold on.
It's the
I just
graphic.
clicked off of it. Oh, he used an illegal weapon. That's why he got the upper hand on Roman Reigns. Now, if it wasn't for that, then he would have been an even matchup.
No, Roman got dog walked.
He used an illegal weapon.
He got
Wasn't a fair
Jacob
fight.
Fatu is the illegal weapon.
Well, that wasn't a fair fight, though.
No, it's not, because Jacob Fatu was involved.
And the illegal weapon.
That is Jacob Fatu.
What honor is that? Using a weapon.
They stole the necklace to begin with.
You gotta come out there and be a man. Like put the take it off then.
He needs to be a man attacking another guy from behind.
Yeah, take off the boot.
Oh, well.
I am hurt though. No.
Don't worry, Roman will get his.
There is going to be a moment where we're going to have to get that matchup because he's going to have to go through the bloodline to get to Solo, I would assume.
They need a... I don't know. They just need to protect this Jacob guy for as long as possible.
Well, the fans think he's like main eventing WrestleManias already. So.
Yeah, we did talk about that. But that was SmackDown.
That is SmackDown.
And before we move on, let's go ahead and shill some stuff.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way to 500 subscribers. We lost one. We're not going to talk about that guy. He made a mistake and accidentally pushed the unsubscribe button. So whoever that is, just go ahead and hit that button again so you can resubscribe. And you can catch us on all the platforms where you get your podcast. So that would be here on YouTube, if you're listening on YouTube, on Twitch, if you're listening on Twitch. By the way, shout out both of you guys. I don't know who the reigning and defending looks like. YouTube right now, it's the reigning and defending. So YouTube is still winning, but still love out there to the Twitch guys. We're also on Spotify. We're on X. If you want to follow us over there. I try to do some, this being me, try to do some live tweeting during the shows, but I don't always watch them live. So, kind of hard to do it when you don't watch it live. But if I watch it live, then I tweet live. That was a long tangent. Well, what was it? Oh, and if you're getting any merchandise, next in the description next to the like button, you can find an affiliate link. It helps the channel out, helps us grow, and that's what we're trying to do here. And we're going to take over this podcasting thing for wrestling, and then we're going to go to regular sports, and then we're going to go to, I don't know. It sounded a lot better in my head, but I'm going to have to practice it and come back with that. But yeah, that is it. Oh, hit the like button if you haven't already.
And that brings us to our Wrestling Rewind.
Retro review.
And this week is Fall Brawl 1997, brought to us by WCW. And we start off with a video package, sort of Arn Anderson's retirement. He gives his spot to Mr. Perfect. We also see the infamous Four Horsemen parody that Kevin Nash, Konnan, and Syxx were involved with. Syxx was dressed as Flair, and he had a little hose on his hand that made him cry, just like Ric Flair, which I thought was funny. And a War Games match between the two is set by Roddy Piper for some reason.
Yep, there's only one way to settle this, and that's through war.
I mean, it makes sense that the two teams are in a War Games match. I don't understand how Roddy Piper was in a position to make the match.
Oh, they had mentioned he was interim GM or something.
Oh, okay. I missed that. So we're in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Tony Schiavone, Mike Tenay, and Bobby the Brain Heenan start off on commentary. Schiavone says Larry Zbyszko will rotate in some matches. No mention of where Dusty is. Schiavone tries to sell the main event. Tenay says WCW is more united than ever. We also learned that this isn't just a random group of NWO guys against the Four Horsemen. Flair wanted these men specifically because of the Four Horsemen parody. Heenan says Team NWO is really good. And the first match of the evening is Chris Jericho. Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Jericho for the WCW Cruiserweight title. Eddie is a full-blown heel at this point and also in tremendous shape. Almost like prime Eddie Guerrero.
They definitely found the weight room.
It starts off with Jericho just establishing he's the better wrestler. Eddie repeatedly tells the ref that Jericho keeps pulling his hair. Not a whole lot of shenanigans beyond that. They just had a really, really good match. Jericho hit Eddie with everything he had, including a double power bomb. Eddie kept fighting back, even used a rock bottom on Jericho. Lots of near falls, not just like big move after big move near falls. It was gotcha near falls. Like there was somebody tried to throw a punch and then they countered it into a Mahi straw cradle, and there was a leg takedown, and that was turned into a roll up. It was just very fluid wrestling with near falls that were near falls, believable near falls. Ended after Eddie countered a superplex into a crossbody, and he hit his frog splash for 1, 2, 3. And yeah, this is night and day from the first time we've seen Eddie. It's like something clicked in his head. It's actually night and day from the last time we saw him.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I thought I was watching the wrong pay-per-view. How much of a change it was,
right?
I was like, did I do it again? Did I skip a year?
I'm surprised that Eddie won clean for as evil as he was clearly trying to come off as.
There's a lot of clean finishes.
Yes. And the only critique I have with this match is I could have done without the stupid cartoony faces that Jericho made when Eddie had him in that surfboard thing. Even Heenan said he had bitter beer face.
Yeah, it was a little over the top. My one note was, outside of the Eddie Guerrero being in phenomenal shape, Chris Jericho had his break the walls down theme.
Did yours have that too?
Yes.
I don't know if that was that can't be WCW's music.
Apparently it was.
It can't be.
But WWE did add more to it, because they had the whoa whoa and the yell of break the walls down.
Yeah.
So it's changed a little bit, but yeah, the lyrics.
I think that was a WWE edit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But see, that's what that also led me, is like, I'm watching the wrong pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah. Although it doesn't make sense because they've been playing his old theme song up to this. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Jarrett and a nerd took online fan questions in the internet position. It's kind of funny that Jarrett does that today.
Yeah.
And then we get Harlem Heat versus the Steiner Brothers. And boy, did this have a big fight feel. Maybe because these two teams have history. I don't know. But it felt like, I don't know, it felt like a big match. Starts off with Scott getting his ass whooped. Then he catches Booker coming off the top rope with a belly-to-belly suplex. And he's immediately fine after that. That being Scott. Like, he's getting his ass whooped for a good 5 minutes. Then he just gets a suplex out of nowhere, and he's up and just dandy. I think he even posed with Rick.
Yeah, it fired him up.
Harlem Heat were treated a lot better this match. The Road or Hog Wild match that they had, they were treated like chumps, I thought. They were just being thrown around. This time they took it to the Steiners. Until they, got hit out of nowhere with a suplex, which is, respectable. Booker super kicked Scott over the top rope, which was awesome. And then Jacqueline talked all sorts of shit while Stevie was beating the shit out of Scott outside the ring. Larry Zbyszko claims that Scott Steiner can bench press 9,000 pounds. True story.
I'm sure that's pretty accurate, too.
The ending was really cool. So Booker goes for a spin kick, but he gets suplexed by Scott Steiner. Scott tags in Rick, who runs wild, and he hits Stevie Ray with a bulldog. Booker is able to break up the pin. Harlem Heat then nail Rick with a heat seeker. They got him in the Doomsday Device position, and they hit him with a missile drop kick. Booker manages to cut Scott off from breaking up the pin, but Rick just kicks out at the last second. And Scott eventually gets the better of Booker, shit cams him out of the ring. Rick and Scott destroy Stevie Ray with a lariat German suplex combination for the 1-2-3. Although the replay was not kind to Rick's lariat. Because it looked like he barely touched him. It looked like it was all a German suplex.
Yeah. No, he got contact on the first view of it.
Oh, yeah. But that replay view was just, it didn't even look like he connected.
But yeah, it was a good match out of these two. Again,
Really good match.
No shenanigans.
Nope.
Just a straightforward. Even though they've each had valets out there, they did not get involved. It was a straightforward match between them.
I like how DiBiase and Stevie Ray jaw jacked before the match. I kind of want to see a $1 Million Man Stevie Ray match.
That'd be one-sided at this point.
It would be.
Oh, I did want to note though, not really linked to the match, but there was an awful lot of 6 shirts in the crowd. I just wanted to note that. It's like I saw a lot of them. It's like, wow. I didn't realize he was. Maybe it's because he had the 6 ball, so it was like just a cool thing. But there's a lot of them.
It's probably on clearance. So we got Ultimo Dragon versus Alex Wright for the WCW television title. And it starts off with Wright out-muscling Dragon until he starts dancing. And Dragon starts using his athleticism to get the advantage. They trade some more offense. Dragon clobbers Wright with some devastating kicks. Then Dragon just completely misses one. Wright did the right thing by not selling it. And Wright did a chin lock at one point and used the ropes for leverage. Dragon gave zero indication that leverage worsened his pain. Like he just laid there, motionless. Dragon hit a running powerbomb and a moonsault and couldn't get it done. Then he hit a few Frankensteiners that were kind of sloppy. Wright ends up winning after countering a Dragon sleeper with a jawbreaker and then hitting his German suplex. 1, 2, 3. Really long. It was, I don't know. I think it was because it was cold. Like, I don't know why these guys are fighting other than for the title, which I guess should be enough of a reason, but not for these guys. I'm not big on Alex Wright. I never was.
Oh, I thought it was a good showcase for him. And yeah, the heel Alex Wright won clean as a whistle. So good for him. Again,
He did win.
I was surprised at how little like shenanigans there were for this whole pay-per-view.
They saved it for the main event.
Yeah, they they blew their wad there for sure.
So we get Mean Gene Okerlund, and he tells us that Arn Anderson's going to bitch about the NWO parody on the hotline. And if you just wait 20 years or so, Arn Anderson will do it for free on his podcast.
I didn't even know he had a podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised because everybody has one.
Yeah, they do. And I'm not surprised that was funnier in my head. NWO walked out in front of Gene, then beat up Mr. Perfect in the break room, and then they leave the way they came. Gene was beside himself, begs for help. Then he begs for Doug Dillinger, who will only come to mace the defenseless Henning. We know that for a fact. Tells anyone to come out because there's a problem. And he says, back to you, Tony.
I like that he got upset because they were blowing his spot. That being to show the hotline.
Yeah.
Like he thought nothing of them. Now it makes sense now, but you know, they went back and forth really quick. And I was even thinking, like, well, how much damage could they have done that quick? Because it was, I don't know, it wasn't even a minute that they went back and forth. So
Only takes 30 seconds to hit a razor's edge.
True.
I don't know. It's just the Gene with his bad acting, and then just, back to you, Tony.
Yeah, he didn't do too good there.
So we get Jeff Jarrett versus Dean Malenko. And Malenko started off by straight out wrestling Jarrett, but being unable to just put him away. Malenko gets Jarrett in a cloverleaf. Jarrett immediately got to the ropes, and that's when Deborah came out just to stand at ringside. Jarrett starts working on Dean's leg, and they did a series of counters and fake outs to set up near falls. And Jarrett did a flare chop after Malenko leapfrogged over him for some reason. For no reason. I can't think of a reason why you would leapfrog over somebody where you're facing away from them in a fight.
I don't know.
So Jarrett gets the figure 4 in the middle of the ring. Malenko has no choice but to submit. This was a banger.
Another surprising outcome for me.
You thought Malenko was going to win?
Well, I think it's more so a surprise that he tapped out.
I see, yeah.
Like I thought, I got the feeling, obviously, or with how they were building, this match was leading to the number 1 contendership for Mongo's title. So obviously Jarrett was going to win it. But yeah, the fact that he tapped Malenko out was surprising to me. And it was clean.
It was clean.
The story of this pay-per-view, as I've said.
And that's 4 straight matches and 4 straight home runs as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I was enjoying it. Got some good wrestling.
So the NWO has purchased time to give us their views. And it's Conan, Bagwell, Nash, and Master 6. Nash says something, then pretends to cry and walk away. 6 says the 4 horsemen are finished without Mr. Perfect. Conan does Conan things and then makes faces. God, the faces that he was making.
Orale!
Oh, viva la raza! Chico Maroto Morebe!
You can even see like Nash is like, what the hell? and then 6 jumps in, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all that.
Nash says the NWO has a plan and it's a doozy in a goofy over the top voice. Bagwell says their plan is to end the Four Horsemen, which doesn't sound like much of a doozy at all. Then Nash says, so you guys are saying you're with me in finishing the Four Horsemen. Then they overdramatically flash the NWO sign to the camera and make goofy faces. Like Nash's matches, I hate his fucking promos. Or unlike his matches, I hate Nash's fucking promos.
That's fair.
And to me, it seemed like they were just like, oh, well, we're just going to wing it.
Yeah, all these little backstage things, it's like they're just winging it.
Yeah.
No script, no nothing. Just
and
like, this is what you need to get over, or this is what you're talking about. Now go do it.
And they don't do it very well. At least Nash doesn't. He keeps trying to be funny, or I don't know what the fuck he does.
Some of them just like, yeah, run on. You don't know what they're talking about. But it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna like. He asked that whole. So you're saying you want to take down the Four Horsemen tonight? He kept asking them that like
4 times.
Yeah, because they wouldn't answer.
Right. They're all doing their thing. That's why it's probably a good idea to have a general script.
Yeah.
Wrath and Mortis versus the Faces of Fear. Now, there's no mention of Glacier. And more importantly, we don't know if they still have his helmet.
Oh, he's done. He ain't going to be back until he's dropping to Goldberg, I think.
Fair enough. Mortis and Wrath are somehow a lot cooler without Glacier and Ernest Miller to work with. Go figure. Mortis got fucked up to start the match. The Faces did a back-to-body drop into a powerbomb on Mortis. The powerbomb was really sloppy, but it was still awesome as fuck. It looked like Mortis was kind of heavy.
It seemed like he straight up muscled him up from it.
Yeah. I like how the Tongans and Samoans have certain moves that they know sell. In Ming's case, it was clotheslines, super kicks, and headbutts.
Any offense.
True, yeah. Mortis tried to clothesline Ming, and then Ming ends up grabbing Mortis's arm and doing a short arm chops. Mortis started kipping up. So he would do the chop, and then Mortis would kip up after each chop. And then finally, there was one chop he just flew back, just defeated. It was fucking hilarious. Especially when James Mitchell's like, work to the corner, come on! Barbarian ends up going up to the top rope, but Mitchell shakes the ropes and causes him to crotch himself. And Ming loses it and wants to kill Mitchell. Looks like Mitchell's interference does dick because Barbarian headbutts Mortis. And then goes for his diving headbutt. And Mortis gets a leg up. Wrath comes in with a scissor kick, and they do a neckbreaker powerbomb combination. And that wasn't the fucking finish, thanks to Ming. I thought that was it. Barbarian gets fucked up now. Mortis sandwiches Barbarian his head in between the ring post and the steel steps, which was brutal as fuck. I went, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mortis and Wrath are idiots because they kept pinning Barbarian next to the rope so he could easily break the count. Mortis and Wrath did superplex to Barbarian and got hurt just as much as Barbarian did, which was kind of dumb.
Yeah, he apparently Wrath crotched him when he because he was holding his crotch.
Okay.
So I guess Wrath crotched him because they were in the Doomsday position.
Mm-hmm.
So when he fell back, he crotched him.
So why was Wrath hurt?
I don't know. Crotching.
Okay.
I don't know.
Ming gets tagged in, and to put a stop to the nonsense, he chopped the fuck out of Mortis, kicked him straight in the face. Kicked him right in the face. Mortis got fucked up. They were not kind to him at all.
Yeah.
Barbarian and Wrath end up fighting outside the ring. James Mitchell climbs up on the apron and hit Ming with a stick. Ming snatches Mitchell first and applies the Tongan death grip. Mortis then super kicks and headbutts Ming. Ming responds by grabbing Mortis and then locking the Tongan death grip into him with his other hand. Wrath comes in out of nowhere, hits him with a rock bottom 1, 2, 3. I'm like, what?
Yes, he had 2 men in the Tongan death grip, but it was the third man who, and wasn't even legal. Let's not.
Yeah,
Or I don't think he was.
I don't know. I don't think it was either. Wrath and Mortis celebrate over Mitchell's corpse, and flabbergasted that the Tongans lost. Still a good match.
It was. Ming's hair is wild too.
Oh yeah. I just love his whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Remember hearing similar things on the football field.
Yeah.
So Mean Gene's in the locker room with the 4 horsemen. Gene says that there's supposed to be 4 men here, but he doesn't know Mr. Perfect's status, and it's not looking good. Benoit says it'll be an honor to give the NWO a dose of reality. Conan is a wannabe. 6 is just a number. We all know what the buff is about with Bagwell. Like, do we? We don't know what Nash is about because of all the characters he's been. But after tonight, the NWO will know that the Horsemen are all about. Or the NWO will know what the Horsemen are all about. Mongo says the NWO are fucked because they're going to be locked inside a steel cage with them. He's bringing the apocalypse down on the NWO tonight. Flair says, Gene Okerlund! If I quit every time my back was against the wall, I wouldn't be standing here today. Mr. Perfect is out, but that's the price you pay of being a horseman. If Mr. Perfect can make it, he'll be out there. In the meantime, Flair tells Nash that the horseman will bleed, sweat, and pay the price for life. Woo! The best part was Flair was completely stoic until it was his turn.
Of course, he turned it on.
But yeah, nice little promo. And the best part is Gene didn't say one fucking thing about the hotline.
He just didn't get time. They ran out of time.
Scott Norton versus the Giant. This started off as a thing of beauty. These 2 fucking bears just collided. And it was crazy to me how Scott Norton looks like a normal human being next to the Giant. This looked like 2 normal men fighting because they're so big. And they ultimately just traded punches. And it was awesome. Giant got the better of Norton because he's bigger. Until Norton had enough and just punches Giant in the dick. And then Norton beats up on Giant for a while, hits a belly-to-back suplex, but it's only for a 2 count. Norton goes to berate the referee. Suddenly, Giant, his chokeslam hand just sticks straight up. Then Giant grabs the middle rope and does a kip up. And Norton wasn't phased one bit.
He was just watching like, what the hell?
And Giant hits Norton with a super kick, a drop kick, and a choke slam. 1, 2, 3. Heenan called Scott Norton Ed Norton during the replay. And I love this match. This is what I wanted JBL and Chris Benoit to be.
I don't know. I was a little bit off on the ending. The fact
That's
that
fair. Yeah.
Norton is just watching him. The Giant's hand shoots up for, like, what was he reaching for? And then he kips up out of nowhere. And yeah, he's just watching, like, what are you doing? Then he just kips up. And then, yeah, I wrote it down as basically the Giant hulks up and then match over.
Well, I just like when he kipped up and Scott Norton just didn't miss a beat and just went over to hit him some more. It's like, okay, you kipped up. Good job.
Which it was good, though. You know, like, we haven't seen much athleticism out of the Giant since. I still remember him, whatever the hell he did through that cage when he, like, pulled himself up and put his
Mhm.
feet over. I remember that athleticism.
Apparently, he used to do moonsaults.
I'm sure he did.
But yeah, I mean, it was two big men. It wasn't, I think it was only 5 minutes as far as the match. So, I mean, it didn't need to be a 20-minute classic. They just fought until one man was left standing. It was great. Yeah, the ending was kind of hokey. I'll give you that.
Well, I just didn't like, how I don't know. I just felt it kind of ended suddenly, but like from the Hulk up, it was pretty much over at that point.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, I did enjoy the match. I mean, I enjoyed it all the way through, but
No, I
one
see what
little
you're saying.
thing to point out.
It was eye rolly. I gotcha. DDP and Lex Luger versus the NWO. And this is Randy Savage and Scott Hall. And it's a no disqualification match, or at least that's what I have written down. I don't know if they actually build it as that.
Yeah, I don't think they ever said it.
Okay.
Kind of turned out as such. I don't know.
Scott Hall came out separately, which was kind of weird. Didn't bother to bring his own belt or his tag belt out either. And started off with Luger just showing how strong he is before letting DDP in the match so he can get his ass kicked. And get his ass kicked he did. At one point, he was being double teamed by Miss Elizabeth and Savage. Hall stomped Luger down in between the two. They had two rings set up. So Hall stomped Luger down in between the two rings in the crack, which was funny. I don't know why.
All the way down in there.
They haven't, the two rings haven't come into play until this match, which is why we're bringing it up at this point. And Hall then knocks out.
While we're talking about it, though, I liked how they were like tossing DDP from one ring to the other.
Yeah.
It's like, your turn. And then tossing him back, your turn.
Yeah. So Hall knocks out the referee for some reason. And then a second referee comes out, and then he tiptoes around that referee and kicks him right in the face.
Straight out of like Looney Tunes, if you can picture it.
Well, after he kicks the second referee in the face, Zbyszko gets pissed off, and he heads to the ring. And he gets on the apron and starts talking shit with Hall. Hall's distracted, and this allows Luger to recover. And at this point, like, you can see Luger coming out of the crack, just rising up. And then you can also see movement in the background. And this is when you notice that DDP is still getting his ass kicked by Savage and Miss Elizabeth just in the corner.
Yeah, that whole the whole rest of the match, they're just like beating the shit out of him. Like, even more so, like at the ending, Macho Man starting like, what happened? He was so into the beating.
Yeah. So Zbyszko actually gets in the ring, and Scott Hall shoves him. Zbyszko shoves him back, but Luger is waiting. Luger gets Hall in roll up 1, 2, 3. Zbyszko, the announcer, made the fast count, and the commentary laughed and gloated like children. Like, yeah, that's what you get. You do it, we do it.
And yeah, this was somehow an official ending.
Yes.
This guy who is just a commentator counts to 3, and that's the official ending.
And yeah, DDP is presumably dead.
Yeah. Which, it makes sense because they have their feud going. So,
but he took a lot of offense.
I don't think he got any offense. Did he?
He had a little bit.
A little bit.
He was also wearing my favorite DDP shirt. The diamond with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Mean Gene's back, and he can't confirm Mr. Perfect status, but he wants the fans to call the hotline to listen to Arn Anderson bitch about the skit. Gene also says he'll have the results of the fucking pay-per-view we're watching on the hotline as well. So let that sink in. We're at the end of this fucking pay-per-view, and he wants us to call a 900 number to get the results of the pay-per-view that we just finished watching.
Gotta pimp it.
Mean Gene then closes out with a Halloween Havoc commercial. I'll be honest with you, I didn't pay too much attention to it.
There's nothing to it. It was just the Macho Man doing Slim Jim commercial. That's what it felt like. It felt like a Slim Jim commercial. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, Halloween Havoc, which is presented by Slim Jim, so it checks
There
out.
you go. Well, finally, we got the NWO, Buff Bagwell, Kevin Nash, Conan, and Six versus the Four Horsemen, Chris Benoit, Ric Flair, and Mongo McMichael. And maybe, just maybe, Mr. Perfect. In a War Games match. Michael Buffer tells us that this will be the climax of the evening. And then the cage lowers, and the commentary team speculate on whether Mr. Perfect is coming out. And Michael Buffer basically had the night off because he didn't really say a whole lot.
Yeah, he didn't do the Buffer thing. He was just like, the NWO, and it's these people, and then
Right.
it's the Four Horsemen, and it's these people.
And he announced Mr. Perfect anyway, even though he was never there.
He did. Yeah, at one point did he ever indicate that it was that the Horsemen were down a man.
Yeah.
And then he laid out the rules of the match. I guess so. He did talk for a while with that though. 5 minutes starts at 2 minutes before they're gonna do a coin toss.
Which we never saw.
Well, they did it, but we never saw
did
the.
Oh.
Yeah, they did it, but we never saw the actual coin toss. So the NWO won it, of course. I'm sure that was completely natural, authentic. They won it too.
How you guys cheat a coin toss?
You can have a 2-sided coin.
That means that you think they paid off the coin flipper?
No, I mean storyline wise, they probably just said the NW won, no matter what side the coin landed on, because you never saw the coin. So you saw him flip it, but they didn't show like a close up of the coin toss itself.
Yeah, but wouldn't they have like a impartial person flipping the coin to judge?
They do. They did. They had the referee.
So if they had a 2-sided coin, wouldn't the impartial guy say, "Hey, that's a 2-sided coin"?
I'm saying because
I'm saying for storyline. Why would they be that stupid?
They needed Kurt Hennig to be last,
Right.
so the NWO had to be first.
Uh-huh.
So they had to win the coin toss.
Okay. I'm with you there.
So I'm saying the NWO won the coin toss regardless of if they won the coin toss. I guess all I'm pointing out is we didn't see the coin. So if they had actually flipped it and then we saw it land, we had to use imagination, or we had to trust what they told us.
So you're saying like TV TV lied to us?
Yes.
Okay. I got you. Okay, I'm with you now. Sorry.
And then the rest of the rules was just every 2 minutes they would alternate after that coin toss. They would alternate, and then once all the men are in the ring, it is the finish can only come by surrender or submission.
Surrender or submission. Benoit and Bagwell start the match. Then Conan came out to beat on Benoit with Bagwell. Then Mongo comes out to even it out. Six enters the match with his ponytail. Just before Flair goes in last, Mr. Perfect comes out in a sling. Mr. Perfect and Flair talk at ringside, and the clock ticks away. Flair ends up going in and runs wild with weird punches and chops. Nash comes in last and runs wild. The clock counts to 0 for the final time, and Mr. Perfect bravely enters the cage. in a fucking sling.
Yeah.
Turns out Mr. Perfect wasn't hurt at all. His sling contained 2 pairs of handcuffs, which he used to clobber Mongo with immediately. Perfect then tosses a set of cuffs to Nash before clubbing Benoit with his set. Flair gets jumped by Perfect, Six, and Bagwell. Conan handcuffs Benoit to the cage. Nash cuffs Mongo to the top of the cage. They both were handcuffed to the top of the cage. Then Flair gets destroyed some more. Mr. Perfect takes off the Horseman shirt and rips it. Nash grabs a mic and asks each horseman if they give up. They all say no, only prolonging the ass beating. Benoit tries to rip his way free from the cage. Flair gets powerbombed. They ask Benoit and Mongo to surrender again. They say no. Then they drag Flair so his head is sticking out of the cage door. Nash tells Mongo and Benoit to give up, or they're slamming the cage door on Flair's head. Mongo says, "Stop it. You got to stop it." And I guess this is taken literally, so the match ends. Perfect then slams Flair's head in the cage door anyway. Nash declares the death of the Horsemen right in their own backyard, and the NWO pose while we see Flair's head wrapped in a towel.
And then we immediately cut off of the air from that too.
Yes.
And I believe this is the start of the NWO weekly beating of Flair with his little headband on, or his little head bandage. And every week they beat him up more.
We might have to, when it happens, we'll have to make a special field trip for the Rodney King thing.
Which does happen.
It does happen.
I believe it. Yeah. I believe this is the start of all that.
Yeah, and you would think that after being publicly made fun of on national TV that the good guys would have won this one, but no.
Well, they had the one up.
They did. And I think they keep the one up.
Because Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, newest member of the NWO. I did think it was a pretty funny, I don't know, Flair being in that position. It's like, of course it's Flair. The position of getting his ass beat by everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like, of course it was Flair that's in that position. And then, when they put his head up to the cage and did it anyway. It's like, of course Flair took that bump.
Mr. Perfect. Especially now knowing the Flair that we know, or knowing the Flair that we know now.
Yeah.
Because you hear that he was trying to turn heel on Sting during his retirement match. Just leave me bloody. And you get me in the Scorpion Deathlock, and it'll be just like when we first started our careers.
Yeah. Trying to squeeze that in. Like, it's actually not about you, Flair. I know, but let's get me some work in here.
But that was Fall Brawl 97. Overall, pretty darn good pay-per-view. I wasn't expecting a whole lot.
Yeah, it was pretty good. If you like I would say like a straightforward wrestling, then that's the one you want to go watch.
Which WCW is usually straightforward wrestling till you get to the main event.
To the NWO stuff.
Yeah.
Like the NWO has to have the shenanigans. Everybody else is just straightforward.
Well, it makes sense because those are all former WWF people.
Yeah. Like why is Hall knocking out the referees for no reason? But I was actually thinking during the match, Savage, since he's joined the NWO, he's been pretty brutal to the refs. Matter of fact, in all his matches, a ref has gotten knocked down or pile driven. How ridiculous. He's pile driving referees. Ridiculous thing. Like,
Yeah.
not just hitting him, pile driving him. Well, yeah, pretty good pay-per-view.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, Halloween Havoc 97 is next. That takes place in Las Vegas, Nevada, and features Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Eddie Guerrero. It's a mask versus title match for the Cruiserweight title.
Oh,
This is considered one of the best matches in WCW history and of the 90s. Then we get Jacqueline versus Disco Inferno. Yep.
oh boy.
We get Ric Flair versus Mr. Perfect for the U.S. title.
I'm actually interested in seeing that one. Hopefully, it's a clean, no shenanigan match.
And we'll see. And we get Roddy Piper versus Hollywood Hogan in a steel cage match. And it may or may not be for the title. Who knows? I don't think it is.
Hogan
I think
is still the champion.
Hogan is definitely the champion. I think if Roddy wins, he gets a title shot or something stupid.
They're doing that again?
Yeah.
Because that's what they did when he came in.
Well, I think he won and then got a title shot. I think now, I could be wrong. I remember he came in and there was a stipulation where if he won, he got a title shot. If Hogan won something, I think this is when Warrior comes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did go to WCW for a little bit.
He did.
And that's not the Renegade. It was
No.
also the Warrior.
I could be wrong. Let me just...
Sad thing is, I was actually a Renegade fan.
Of course you were. I don't even remember the Renegade. Like, I remember him, but I don't remember him.
Truth be told, I don't either. I just remembered he had the R on his face, and he reminded me of the Ultimate Warrior. And I think there was a time when I thought he was the Ultimate Warrior. And then I realized it was just a copy of him.
Yeah, I don't know. Warrior's not in this, so I was wrong about that. But I know they're in a steel cage match. It doesn't say anything about the stipulations. I'll have to look into that.
We'll find it out when we watch it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I might be confusing that Team NWO when they did the Team Piper versus Team Flair. Team Flair won.
Oh, yeah.
We'll cross the bridges when we get there. But first, we need to cross WrestleMania 23. It's in Detroit. And it's our first time back to Detroit since WrestleMania 3. It's the first WrestleMania to feature Raw, SmackDown, and ECW, which means 3 fucking commentary teams. The fact that Vince didn't stop and just think about how stupid that is just makes me want to rip my hair out. The main rivalry was Vincent K. McMahon versus Donald J. Trump. Vince had an Trump impersonator versus Rosie O'Donnell on a Raw. The real Trump showed up giving money on a later Raw. And Vince, wanting to measure bank accounts, sets up a match for WrestleMania. And they each chose a representative to wrestle for him. The loser would have to shave his head bald. The match ultimately was billed as the Battle of the Billionaires. McMahon would pick Umaga. Trump picked Bobby Lashley. Stone Cold eventually would be appointed as the special guest referee, because of course. And McMahon also beat Bobby Lashley in a match, apparently. The whole McMahon faction had help, but, he beat him.
And Umaga had help.
Oh, yeah, Umaga helped as well.
And I believe this is when Bobby Lashley helped Santino Marella beat Umaga for the Intercontinental title.
The main rivalry for Raw was John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, the WWE Championship. So the Undertaker won the Royal Rumble and chose Batista for his title. Naturally, a multi-man match had to happen to determine the number one contender for for Cena's WWE title. Shawn Michaels won that match. He defeated Randy Orton and Edge in a triple threat match, and leading up to WrestleMania, Michaels and Cena would team up against Rated RKO, Edge and Randy Orton. And this would lead to Orton playing a highlight reel of all the times Michael fucked over his partners. Michaels tells Cena, yeah, that's true, but with you, John, it's different. I have your back until WrestleMania. So in a tag match against Batista and Undertaker, Michael superkicks Cena, feeding him to Batista and Taker, making him a dirty fucking liar. The main SmackDown feud was Batista and Undertaker. It's pretty straightforward. It's for the World Heavyweight Championship. Undertaker won Royal Rumble, so Batista would fight and occasionally team up with Taker leading up to their Mania match. And then the main ECW feud, because we got to have that. We have ECW Originals versus the New Breed. They basically tried to prove which team had the bigger dick. ECW original leader was RVD. The New Breed leader was Elijah Burke. So I already know who I'm rooting for. ECW original Tommy Dreamer issued the challenge to New Breed for a match at Mania, which was obviously accepted or we wouldn't be fucking talking about it. The Money in the Bank ladder match this year is the debut of CM Punk and Mr. Kennedy.
Kennedy.
And then we get...
I didn't even know that was coming either. It was just right there.
Yeah. Great Khali versus Kane, which I'm sure will be a WrestleMania classic.
Move over, Brett versus Piper, or Brett versus Owen.
Anybody.
Yeah, move aside. You got some stiff competition coming here.
Finally, Chris Benoit versus MVP for the U.S. title.
Interesting.
It will be interesting. This may be Benoit's last WrestleMania. I know we're getting there.
Well, I would say so. And yeah, this WrestleMania will be a new watch for me. I have not watched this one.
I don't think I have either.
I think I remember who wins, but yeah, I didn't actually watch the show.
But that is our Wrestling Rewind.
So tune in next week for that. And as always, we end on the news. I wish I had a thing for that. And by thing, I mean like one of those playthrough things. Anyway, that's just me stalling while I get this stuff pulled up.
What do you mean by playthrough thing?
A sound bite.
Oh, like a dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
I started making one and I didn't like it.
Oh.
I was like, no, this seems kind of weird.
Nice save.
But yeah, we move into our first story here.
No cheap pops?
Let's start with the cheap pops here.
Yeah, cheap pops.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everybody's new favorite segment, Cheap Pops. Cheap Pops is the stories that don't necessarily need their own time. They're cheap pops. And we start off this week's cheap pops with Triple H liking a post.
Oh, God.
Yes. So we all know what that means. Triple H liked a post from Tony Khan, and as the story goes, Tony Khan uh, he was asked about the contract tampering.
Oh, is this where he said he hates WWE with every fiber of his being? Because they didn't they? He brought his mom into it or some shit.
Uh, I'll be honest, I didn't hear the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I read something about the tampering, and he said it doesn't surprise me that they're still tampering or something. And then they brought up his mom, who just recovered from life threatening illness. And
Well,
then,
now he has said that before.
okay, and then he said that's why I will hate these people with every fiber of my being till the day I die, or something like that. It's just fucking funny.
Yeah, it was the last time he talked about the tampering, and he was like, and then everybody started coming to WWE, so it actually worked, allegedly.
There you go. Sorry, I
But
didn't mean
yes,
to cut you off.
we have Tony Khan. Let's show. I don't have a video, but we have the tweet. The tweet here, and as you can see, I don't know how to make it bigger, but Tony Khan, he was asked about the contract tampering, and he said, "I don't think it had." Or they asked if it had stopped the contract tampering. That is, and again, I don't know. It says here via the Dan Lebertard show, which I thought he got fired, so that's news to me too. But he says, I don't think it has. It's still happening, this being the contract tampering. I will reserve all rights when it comes to that, but I don't think that it has stopped. I'll leave it at that. So Tony Khan, this was the statement. But if we take a look down here at Exhibit A, I know you can't see it, but you're gonna have to trust me.
Can you
It says
control
that it
plus?
was. Well, I don't want to ruin things.
How are you gonna ruin things?
Yeah,
Okay.
the yeah. See, now I gotta go back.
You don't have an option to just reset it?
I don't have a. Some people have like a magnifying glass thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to work that out.
Hmm.
Anyway, if you look down here, how about this? We'll fix it in post if we need to. If we look right here, it says that who liked the post, and it is liked by Triple H. So Triple H liked the post about tampering. So there you have it. Triple H. I guess
Has
this
a
is
sense of humor.
yes, or this is a admission of guilt.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, this can hold up in the court of law right here.
I think that's pretty rich that that's coming out right after MVP and Lashley had their story.
Well, Tony Khan, at least he always says that he doesn't tamper.
Well,
So whenever he's asked about a talent, he'll say, "I mean, I can't talk about them," or
that doesn't mean he doesn't talk to him.
"I can't talk to them."
Just because he doesn't publicly say shit doesn't mean he doesn't do shit.
I don't think he has to tamper. If you think about it, you got a locker room full of people. They can tamper for you. That's how they used to do in like NFL days, or not
So
used
it's
to,
still
but
tampering.
it's not
Regardless,
tampering.
yes, it is.
Not if the tampering is if he does it.
Mm.
But if you're just talking to your
If you're going to
friend,
use
hey,
semantics, you're going to use bitch words.
you're talking to your friend, hey, grass is pretty good over here. Although you won't get TV time or anything like that, but you'll get money, and that's important.
I don't know. I just know MVP and Lashley left, and on the way out, insinuated that Triple H is racist. Not so much Lashley.
MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
This was before their deals even expired.
But it is now expired, so we are.
And before their deals expired, they were already quote unquote AEW bound. So I mean, come on.
Well, I think that was just speculation. So
Not
apparently,
that. And to be clear, I don't give a shit. We're talking about millionaires going to make millions somewhere else.
yeah. But apparently, Lashley is going to do a marathon and a boxing match. So, I guess there's still time for before he actually gets to the AEW, which means he'll probably debut in like All In or something. Their next pay per view. Our next story, talking about cheap pops. It is the end of an era. Every once in a while, you get a run that is equivalent to Michael Jordan, Patrick Mahomes going back to back, Tom Brady with the Patriots, Goldberg 100 and whatever wins. Well, there's another streak that is coming to an end, and it was a great streak, and we have to put a moment of sadness or moment of silence, whatever it's called. Who I'm talking about? Samantha Irvin. Samantha Irvin, over the last year, she has had what is called a hump day picture dump or something, where she posts a thirst trap every Wednesday. And
I
she's
got
done
caught.
this. You got caught?
Yeah, in my SummerSlam review. She
Oh,
broke
yeah.
the internet with this picture. She looked tasty. And then they tried to say that Becky Lynch broke the internet with her while she was wearing a couch cover.
I broke the internet too. Sure you did, Becky. Sure
Yeah.
you did. But yes, it is announced, and we will show you to make it official here. It's posted on a Wednesday. Samantha Irvin has announced, after a full year, I've officially retired from the hump day dumps. There was a method to my madness, and it has served its purpose. Thank you for tuning in. 1.5 million views. That's to be noted there. But
1.5 million unsubs.
But yes, she has announced her retirement to the thirst traps, and I, for one, say she'll be back. She'll stop getting attention, and then she'll come back. They always come back,
and we'll be waiting.
Yeah, my grip is
baby oil at the ready.
I'll take a few weeks off, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, and then Ricochet, he'll go over to AEW. They'll find out the grass isn't greener. He'll be struggling over there because you got to get yourself over there, and then hey babe, you want to go and start posting those? We need attention, honey. Yeah, they'll be back. But that does it for Cheap Pop. Hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let us know what you think of the Cheap Pops. And we'll see you in the next one. And now we get into our real stories. Oh, I guess this should have been a Cheap Pop.
You didn't change it yet.
Oh. Good. So this one, actually, we're gonna axe this story. I don't like it. No, we can go over it real quick. So we talk about name changes, right? So apparently there was a rumor that started on Monday that the Judgment Day was going to get a name change. That name change was going to be Street Trash. Now, where this rumor started, uh, who knows? But yeah, it broke out. Some of the bigger news breakers got a hold of it and said, "Hey, uh, this is a thing. They're going to change their name to Street Trash." Monday comes and goes. No new name of Street Trash. Now everybody had moved on. It's like, oh well, I guess it didn't happen. We all got clickbaited. And then this goes to, I think it was Wednesday. We get a follow. Oh, it was Thursday. We get a follow up to the story, and it was Wrestle Ops. I saw the tweet here. They gave more information about Street Trash, and they said that the WWE heard the outcry about the name getting changed from Judgment Day to Street Trash, so they basically dropped it. However, Street Trash as a slogan will be incorporated into the group. And apparently, we see here Finn Balor was the one who came up with this idea. So Finn Balor, if it is true, should be fired. WWE, if this
Wait, did he
story
come up with the Street Trash name, or did he come up with the idea to incorporate the Street Trash into their skit?
he came up with the idea to change the name to Street Trash.
Okay. Yeah, he should be fired.
And I don't know why they even so the rumor gets out. I don't know how far they got to it, like or how close they got to it. Like if it was Monday, and it's like no, cut it. But why did it even have to get that far? Why not like, hey boss, Finn Balor, thinking about changing our name to Street Trash? No, we're not doing that. Like that's as far as it should have went.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Like I don't know how far in the cutting board this made it, but yeah, making it anywhere
Too far.
you weren't gonna like. Just imagine, you're trying to sell merch and you got Street Trash on the merch. Like that was not gonna brand well.
Well, just imagine you have like a poster or something. You see Street Trash versus whoever.
Yeah. Or God forbid you're watching wrestling in front of other people who don't know about wrestling. Oh, what are you watching? Oh yeah, so we got Legato versus Street Trash.
So they're Street Trash that enjoy sloppy seconds.
Yes.
Nobody thinks about this shit at all.
And it was Gunther who did the whole Street Trash thing.
Well, technically, it was Priest with his stupid documentary.
Oh, was it? Is that
Yeah.
weird? Okay.
I'm pretty sure that his documentary released, and in his documentary, at least from the clips that I saw, all I can gather is how underprivileged he was and how he had to fight for everything.
Yeah. Living in his car. Good
Yeah.
story, by the way.
So that's his entire identity.
Yeah, they're probably like, hey, let's lean into that a little bit more.
And then he lost his title.
Yep. But yes, that was the rumor. That was the follow up. So WWE dropped the idea, and thank God.
I guess I don't like how they're pussing out of these storylines because of backlash, quote unquote.
Well, you remember I did say that I was a little bit worried about that when they changed WrestleMania, which now that we know they did. When they changed WrestleMania, I said, I don't know if I like the idea that the fans actually got this changed.
Yeah, but that was different. I mean, that was kind of like a universal what the fuck. People
Right.
like you were in the minority.
Well, I wanted to make a main event.
We got one.
Seems as though it all worked out though.
Yeah. The only thing that didn't work out so far is Cody's title reign. But we can discuss that when it ends.
Oh. Yeah, I did have that. Right. I had that as one of the topics, but yeah, we can talk about it later. We could save it for another week.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like we're in agreement, though.
I'm not. Of course, I'm not. But I do want to say it wasn't even 6 months before those fickle ass fans turned on Cody. Wasn't even 6 months.
And it's not his fault. He can only do so much. But I think yeah, a lot of it was the chase.
Yeah. And there are all these Cody crybabies, and now they're the first ones turning on him.
I'm not turning on him.
Well, I was just saying that I said that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Before WrestleMania, I said that was going to happen. You're whining and crying to get Cody into the match only so you can turn on him in 6 months. But didn't even last 6 months, so there you go.
But well, my original point is that was kind of a big deal. There's a lot of outcry for that.
Right.
For street trash, I didn't even know about street trash until you just mentioned it. So I mean, I think we're talking about apples and oranges as far as the outcry. So it would, I don't know. It's just, you would think that they would pick their battles. And yeah, street trash is stupid, but let it die. Let it die on its own.
Yeah. But at least they didn't go through with it.
True.
But yeah, fans seem to have a little bit too much control.
Yeah.
And they're starting to believe in themselves too.
And they're trying to get stupid people over.
Yeah. Now they're jumping, the leeches are jumping the Pretty Deadly.
Oh my God.
Up, they're next. Let's hit them.
That means they'd have to beat Jacob Fatu. That ain't gonna happen.
Imagine if they did, though.
Oh my God. I did want them to win. I wanted them to win the number one contender spot.
So they can get their ass
beat. Yeah.
They will have their time, but yeah.
I want it to just be single-handedly. I want the bloodline to come out. I want Jacob Fatu to just outstretch his arms, stopping Tama Tonga and everybody else. And he just signals for them to go back. And he just destroys them both.
It's like a straight up handicap match.
Yep. And they're handicapped.
Well, that does it for Cheap Pops. And now we go into our big stories. Story number 1. All In. Oh, I wanted to say it differently. AEW is going all in on Texas. That is right. AEW has announced. So they have their WrestleMania-esque show, and it's called All In. And the last 2 shows have been in London, but they have announced that they are taking the show on the road, if you will. And they are taking that show to Texas.
That's a big story.
That is a big story.
Why?
Because this is their biggest show of the year.
Okay.
And some people would say that the last 2 shows, they've kind of relied on it being an international crowd.
Okay.
Which is how it's done so well. Their stadium show. It's done so well because those fans are starved for wrestling.
Yeah.
but now they're actually coming to Texas. And look at there. There's the graphic. All in Texas, Saturday, July 12th. That is in 2025.
Where in Texas?
They're going to the Texas Ranger Stadium. So, not the Cowboy Stadium. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get too big for our britches here.
At least it's not like the Fort Worth Brahma Stadium or something.
Yeah. Or they're going they're going to Trinity Trojans.
Pennington Field.
Pennington Field. Which is a high school field for those who don't know. But yes, they are coming to Texas, and they're now through research, and not from me, but from other people, seems that if you packed everybody in, it's about a 40,000 seater. You take away like stage, ring, stuff like that, you're probably looking at about 35 seater. So there's going to be two questions. One, can they sell it out? What do you think they can sell this out? It being in Texas, being their first pay-per-view, the first pay-per-view on US soul that is WrestleMania level for them.
How many seats does the Arlington Stadium have? Do you know?
As I said, I think if you take away from like the stage and the ring, you're probably looking at probably like 30,000.
Oh. Aren't they having a
Maybe
hard
less.
time getting like thousands of people to show up?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's the weekly television. This is a pay-per-view.
True.
And this is their biggest pay-per-view.
Aren't they having like trouble with their pay-per-views though?
From what I know, the pay-per-views do pretty good.
Okay. Well, I mean, who knows? They suck as far as, you know, their product and stuff, but they seem to always find a way to win. Or not win, but stick around and exceed certain expectations. Maybe. I think I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know. Unless AEW gets better, I don't think it fucking matters.
Well, they have lasted. Apparently, they've lasted longer than Nitro.
Okay.
So there's that.
They also have a billionaire and
They
unlimited
do.
resources.
They do.
Nitro had people working against it since day one.
They do. They did. But I think if I had a guess, I'm going to say because it's their first show here, and by here I mean in the US. First show, it's their biggest show. They're going to put all the.
I thought the first one was in Las Vegas.
Well, I'm saying when I say first show, I mean like all in. This is the first all in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought the first one was in Vegas.
It was.
The international thing was just the last 2 years. They've been around for 5 years.
Well, I guess since they've, I don't know, kind of tried to brand it as their WrestleMania.
Right. And
like since they put the stamp that this is our biggest show of the year, which
and they did that after the big Wembley thing. They tried to write off of that, which attendance on that is under controversy for some reason.
because WWE is feeding false numbers.
Sure.
You know, while we're on that topic, WWE's feeding false numbers. Like, who are they feeding it to? And like, who's listening? Like, oh, hey, they're not gonna get their TV deal. Like, who are they telling this to?
Who is
And why are
this?
they
Oh,
trusting
this is
this
Dan
source?
from WWE.
Yeah. Why are you trusting this source? Oh yeah, the TNT is not happy with AEW. Oh really? Tell me more, WWE employee. Just doesn't make sense that is a story that
Who-
WWE is feeding false numbers and someone's listening to it.
I don't know. I think it's funny that a fake sport has a big issue about fake numbers.
Well, so they can gloat about filling arenas. They're telling people we're not dying because we fill arenas.
Hey,
That
until
being
one of them
said,
gets to 100,000, they can both shut the fuck up because that's what North Korea did.
well, I was just gonna say. That being said, I do hope, believe it or not, I do hope that they succeed at this because competition, as we learned, is good. So we need for them to succeed. Like we don't have the attitude era stuff without competition. So we need, hopefully they can,
They're not competition, dude.
well, maybe they can be at that point.
I want them to fail until something clicks in Tony's head to let somebody else take over creative, or until they get somebody worth watching.
Oh, they got Mercedes Monet
Oh
and Will Osprey
boy.
and who else? Uh, Nyla Rose is there. And that's a good transition into our next story. Logan Paul has seems. Oh, sorry. Let me. Dang it! I ruined it. But that's it for that story. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we go to the next story.
Way to kill the transition.
I know, right? Probably for the better. So Logan Paul has found himself in hot water again, and he's being sued. Now, to follow this story, we have to go back to the Olympics. You see, the Olympics, they gave us big moments, they gave us big stars like that Australian lady breakdancer.
Oh god.
We had Team USA coming back against Serbia.
Real quick, I've never wanted to hit somebody in the back of the head with a brick at point blank range more than that break dancer. When she
Well,
did that thing where she had her hand on her chin and she was spinning around. Oh, I just wanted to hit her in the face.
yeah, it was pretty bad. And apparently she's like a PhD in breakdancing. So there you go. And yeah, she's like, I don't know. But yeah, we had moments like that. We had USA coming back against Serbia. Big moment. They came back like 15 points or so in the fourth quarter. And we also had a moment where there was a boxer competing in the women's division. And turns out there was some confusion on this boxer. Now, I will say for this, I particularly, I'm not misgendering anybody. Uh, this story has more turns than an M. Night Shyamalan movie. So, depending on when you hear this, it might be a man, it might be a woman. So, yeah, I'm not purposely doing it. If it happens, it happens. And this is all allegedly, of course. So we have this boxer competing in the women's boxing, and there was questions on whether or not it was a man or a woman. Like I said, not purposely misgendering anybody. Just this is just the story that it was. The boxer's name, Iman. Uh,
Oh Jesus.
yeah.
This might be the most offensive part.
Khalif. Iman Khalif. There we go. Got it. I think I
There
got
you
it
go.
pretty good. So, Iman Khalif, she boxes this boxer. The Twitter world goes crazy because uh, we had assumed that it was a man beating a woman, and it led to Logan Paul saying, sending out some tweets. Now he's since deleted these tweets, but we got him. Don't worry about that. So the first tweet he sent out was, I don't know if you can see it, but
Nope, not at all.
that's good. And I don't have him saved, so that's a shame. And I'll read them out loud. So the first,
Prepared as always.
yep. Well, it's a long story. I did have them, but then I lost it. Anyway, so Logan Paul, he tweets out after this match.
If only we had a place to save stuff like that.
I know, right? He tweets out that this is the purest form of evil unfolding right before our eyes. Now, this is when we think this was a man fighting a woman. He said a man was allowed to beat up a woman on a global stage, crushing her life's dreams, fighting for her deceased father. This delusion must end. Now, obviously, Logan Paul, this all happened before SummerSlam, I should point out. Logan Paul caught mega heat, as you would expect. And it was a few hours later that the twists and turns of this story had twisted again and said, actually, this is not a man. This is a woman with a X chromosome. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you.
It's a freak.
It's a yes, allegedly. So Logan Paul, he sends out another tweet. Oopsie. I might be guilty of spreading misinformation along with the entirety of this app. Although she has proven she's been previously disqualified for failing a gender test and has XY chromosomes, which that's where the man thing came into play. Some sources say Iman Khalif was born a biological woman. I stand by my statement that biological men should not compete against biological women in any sports. And if you disagree, you're a sick fuck. That's what he said. Again, that's all been deleted. But that context was needed so we can see what is next. So, if you want the end of that story, Iman goes on to beat that person, beat the next person, wins the gold medal. So, she is a gold medalist. So, if you want to win gold, you got to become a freak. The world's allegedly, the world's changing. So we move on. She finishes the boxing. Olympics is over. Now she's circling back and getting her. She's circling back and getting even. She has decided that she's going to sue Logan Paul and Elon Musk, and I think Donald Trump was thrown in there too. So
Of course
they're
he
all,
was.
yeah. He didn't even have to do anything. He was going to get caught. So yes, they are all getting sued.
Because
No.
they don't. This thing should be beating up women.
No. Let's look here. Oh, J.K. Rowling too. Maybe Trump wasn't in it. I'm sure he is.
He'll get there.
So Iman Khalif is suing J.K. Rowling's, Logan Paul, Elon Musk because of cyberbullying. That's right, cyber bullying. As they said mean things about her on the internet. Now, this also goes in line with like, I think it's Europe. They're cracking down on being. Oh, there we go. Donald Trump's there.
No, there we
Uh,
go. He was probably just added.
yeah. So, yeah, there's also like Europe. They're doing this thing where they're not allowing you to say mean things on the internet. So, I don't know if this. What is this pop up, man? Running our shit. Now we're gonna get taken down. I don't know if I don't know what's gonna come of this, but
Nothing.
there we are. We're
You
getting
got a nobody suing a bunch of millionaires.
for being mean on the internet.
And the more defendants you add on a case, that typically hurts the case. It's a lot easier for one person to sue another. And I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not trying to say that I am, but generally speaking, it's a lot easier for two people to sue each other versus one person to sue a whole bunch of people, because you kind of dilute things.
That makes sense. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens of it. What comes of it? Is Logan Paul getting it? Apparently, there's no hot water. Apparently, he did not lose his title because of the situation. He was already slated to lose the title, so it had nothing to do with this.
He didn't say anything wrong.
There we go.
I mean,
I think it was the whole.
you're laughing? He's saying men shouldn't beat up women. What's funny about that?
That's true. That's true.
You hate women now?
I said it's true.
What's the
But
term for women?
I don't know. Sexist.
You sexist?
Or I don't know. But hey, of course I don't say a man should beat up a woman, but you know, if you're gonna do it, you better do it. Like you better not lose if you're gonna do it. But as far as the story, I guess I guess it is settled. This is indeed a woman.
Settled by
Iman
what?
Khalif. Huh?
Settled by what?
Because this is a bitch ass move.
Ah.
Suing someone for cyberbullying, that's a bitch ass move right there. So it is indeed a woman.
All right.
But on that note, let us know what you think in the comments. Just leave a like for the algorithm, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you on the next one.
I felt like you just wanted that story just for that.
It wasn't, but I thought of it and I was like, I gotta deliver it. But on that note, that's gonna do it for today's show. And as always, leave a like for the algorithm, hit the subscribe button. Oh, and no, it did have one more thing. This is not serious, so it's not going to take too much time. So you know the Fanatics live is happening. Maybe you don't know. Basically, there's this big conference thing going on, Fanatics, and all the WWE people are there, and they have all these celebrities walking out. And when they walk out, they come out to like entrance music, WWE entrance music. Apparently, it's a big success for WWE. They've been touting. But the question is, so wait,
like Mel Gibson comes out to the Undertaker music?
Well, something like that, but
Okay.
he's not there.
Well, sure.
But yeah, something like that. You're these celebrities are walking out and they're playing the music and the Titantron, so they get like a WWE entrance. So
Okay.
the question was, if you were walking out to some music, can't change it, of course. You got to have their Titantron, their music. Who you walking out to?
That's a good question.
And it doesn't even have to be like it can be any.
That's a really good question. Probably Voodoo Child. Hulk Hogan.
So the NWO entrance,
Mm-hmm.
I had that written. I had that as mine, uh, or one of my top. But I think like final answer would probably be. I was, I was between that. I was between Real American,
Yeah, of course.
and then the other one was Kurt Angle.
So people could tell you suck.
No, so I can. Well, yeah, but I walk out. They got the music and the. I'm a big straps guy. If I was a wrestler, I would have straps so I can take the straps down.
Oh, you know what? I changed my answer. It'd be Kane.
I can see that.
But the caveat would be if I can set the whole place on fire. Because that's a big part of it.
Yeah. And I think maybe I would go Hogan, Real American,
Yeah. That's a good one too. I was just listening to that.
just for the energy, getting to do that. But yeah, that's just a little fun thing I saw a lot of people doing. It was like, oh, I wonder what mine would be. And I was like, I should bring it up. So there you go.
And you did.
But on that note, if you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, or I'm sorry, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on all the social medias, wherever you get your podcasts. And is there anything else?
Just have a good night.
And until next time, top guys out.